Chapter-201-Flounder Liberation. With an ultra-fast-paced attack, anyone who is slack or dazed may be killed by the opponent. If Lu Han had been a little slower before, he would probably have died in the attack of the dragon encircling technique, and if the Ma Ankang people didn't react fast enough, they would be hit by the thunder light of Lei's clone, and he would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. Ninjas, except for very few cases, cannot use their bodies to resist ninjutsu attacks. Ninjas can perform destructive ninjutsu and defensive ninjutsu, but their bodies are very fragile. All must pay attention. This is a life and death fight. Lu Han kept his nerves tense. He chose the best time to shoot. Just when the Ma Ankang people spit out the Sweden water-style ninjutsu in the sky to dispel the kunai thrown by Lu Han seized this chance to win with one blow, and issued the best of his current masters. Strong ninjutsu attack. LV9 Ultimate Ghost Flame Technique. The dark flames spread into a 10-meter-long ghost image, as if rushing up to the sky's curtain, as fast as a thunderbolt, attacking the Ma Ankang people. Because of the difference in angle, the fire of ghost flames does not come into contact with the Sweden water style of Ma Ankang, but staggered. A sense of crisis, as if death had arrived, enveloped the Ma Ankang people. Too fast. It was too late for Ma Ankang to use ninjutsu to fight, let alone avoid it. Only. The flounder is liberated. Call. Whoa. The two knives of the flounder and flounder folded together in an instant, and the blue light exploded and extended forward, forming a sledgehammer, or a huge mallet. It is impossible for the previous owner of the flounder to perform the liberation of flounder so quickly and directly. The blue light slammed down, directly hitting the fire of the ghost flames that just flew up, blasting away the ghost flames that were like a curtain, and the sky that had already darkened was as bright as day at this moment. The shape of the ball continued to impact downwards. Fuck. Lu Han avoided frantically, and at the same time was extremely astonished. Is this the stunt of the flounder and flounder? Boom. The attack of the flounder liberation hit the sea, directly smashing a huge pit in the sea, and the tsunami-like waves swelled around, as if to engulf some. Lu Han dodged. The flounder liberation attack was not aimed at him, but to dispel the ghost flame technique, so it was not difficult for him to dodge. Damn shameless bastard. I must kill you. The Ma Ankang man, who had released the flounder liberation, roared hysterically in the sky. He was almost going crazy, and the flounder liberation was just used up. Just use it up. He doesn't have the ability to use flounder liberation twice in a row. Lu Han hid away, standing on the sea hundreds of meters away, with the violent ups and downs of the waves, looking at the Ma Ankang man who was falling from the sky. His expression was still astonished. Lu Han's heart twitched fiercely, and there was cold sweat behind him. He naturally knew the power of flounder liberation. It was a terrifying skill that could smash Susanoo Sasuke out in the original book. It was also understandable that he could smash the LV9 Ultimate Ghost Flame, which is only slightly more powerful than ordinary A-rank ninjutsu. But the question is, how did he cast it so fast? What Lu Han was astonished about was the speed at which the Ma Ankang people released the flounder. Too fast. It is definitely not slower than the speed at which Lu Han released Jinghong Peerless. Scared after a while. Ringo Rahei in seconds with Jinghong Peerless. It was a sudden attack, and the distance was close enough. It was considered a sneak attack. If the Ma Ankang people had been more straightforward before and released the flounder and flounder during the close combat, it would have been possible to directly kill Lu Han. Kill it in seconds. It's too close to react at all. Even using Shadow Flash, there is no faster speed than Ma Ankang waving his arms. And Shadow Flash can only move in a straight line. Although Lu Han has a body that will not die even if its vital points are destroyed, and Shikatsumyaku Dead Bone Pulse, whose bones are as hard as steel, but facing the attack of the flounder liberation, if he doesn't defend, he will be directly shattered. Then Lu Han would be dead. Become the 3665th subversive to die in the world of Hokage. Thankfully. Because there is no if. The Ma Ankang people would never directly use flounder to liberate to kill the enemy. Because that was his ultimate move, his life-saving stunt. It is the ability to save lives at critical moments. No one would use this ability immediately. If Luhan didn't know that he couldn't beat the two, he had to kill one first, and he wouldn't be able to use Jinghong Peerage immediately. Moreover, Ma Ankang people looked down on Luhan in their hearts. Even if Luhan killed Ringo Rahe with Jinghong Peerless, he still did not regard Luhan as an opponent who could pose a threat. After all, Jinghong Peerless was not Luhan's ability, but the ability to endure with weapons. Fortunately, although he didn't kill him, it consumed his flounder liberation, so it would be fairer to fight. Luhan sighed with relief, and while taking out the big blue bottle to replenish chakra, his eyes were always on watching the Ma Ankang man fall back to the sea. He was on alert again. The Ma Ankang man who fell on the sea rushed up again, quickly approaching Luhan, but suddenly stopped 50 meters away from Luhan. Ma Ankang stared at Luhan. When he was excited, his eyes were bloodshot. He finally started to face Luhan, because Luhan really almost killed him just now. Will not be able to fight, can't dodge, can't defend, LV9 Ultimate Ghost Flame will kill him. You are very strong, Ma Ankang said, and the words were very abrupt, and there was an inexplicable meaning in his low and hoarse voice. Well, you too, Luhan said indifferently, looking into Ma Ankang's eyes. The Ma Ankang man was avoiding Luhan's gaze, not because he was afraid, but because he saw Luhan's 3-tomo Sharingan. He naturally regarded Luhan as a Uchiha ninja, and the Uchiha ninja was originally a Konoha ninja, so he had no idea about it. Any question? The Monkang people who are experienced in combat understand, don't look at the Uchiha ninja. Just look at the face. Congratulations, you will meet my strongest ninjutsu, this is your honor, you. Ma Ankang was speaking, and suddenly stopped. Luhan also frowned. The two looked south at the same time. A figure in a blood-robed robe crossed the surface of the water, hanging half a meter in the air, and swiftly flew over. Chapter-201-220 Patient Senju Senro. The tide ebbs and flows, and the wind and waves on the sea before nightfall are particularly strong, but the figure that flies over is up and down following the tide. He is not jumping, not running, but really flying. The whistling sound was getting closer and closer, and the figure in the blood-robed robe did not hide his traces, nor did he restrain the surging and vast chakra in his body, so the first time he approached, both Luhan and Ma Ankang discovered him. Ma Ankang's face changed dramatically, because he didn't know this person. Not a ninja from the village of Kurigakure. He subconsciously thought that this person might have come to help, Hengguang, and if it was an unrelated ninja, he wouldn't have to come over. Luhan turned his head to see the Shuipao figure approaching. His eyes widened a bit, his expression stunned. He saw something completely incomprehensible. The line of Yuhi words on the top of the Shuipao figure's head made Luhan a little dazed. Great Yuhi name. Anbu Special Mobile Unit, Level 55 Diamond Boss, Senju Senrao. Root Ninja. Level 55 Diamond Boss. Senju Clan of Ninjas. But, there is Mangekyo Sharingan. Luhan was in a trance for a moment, his cognition about the Hokage world almost collapsed, and he couldn't understand it all. Level 55 Diamond Boss. This is the quasi-film. In other words, it has the strength of Shadow itself, but it is lacking in other aspects. The ninja of this strength appears at the root, which is difficult to understand, but not incomprehensible. But what the hell is a Senju ninja with Mangekyo Sharingan? That's Mangekyo. It's not the 3-tomo Sharingan that Uchiha Jonin can dig out and transplant at random. How many Mangekyo did the Uchiha tribe open in the 30 years from the Sengoku era to the present Konoha? Senju ninja serving at the root itself is unreasonable. Root ninjas are all cultivated from a young age. Generally, they are orphans without parents, are small clans with very few people, are children with ninja talents found outside of Konoha. Danzo is crazy and dares. Caught the children of the Senju clan into the root. Dame Hokage Senju Hashirama. Second generation Hokage Senju Tobarama. 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. or a disciple of the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama, and received the teachings of Senju Hashirama, the god of ninja Hokage. At this time, although the Senju family is in decline, the foundation is outrageous. Who dares to mess with the Senju clan? Luhan even suspected that he was wrong, but he was not wrong. The flying figure is indeed called Senju Senrao, and he does have Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo! Exclaimed suddenly. Ma Ankang also saw it. His eyesight was not as good as Luhan's, but as Senju Senluo approached quickly, he naturally also saw the Mangekyo Sharingan in Senju Senluo's eyes. The Ma Ankang man jumped away and retreated a few dozen meters away. The distance between him and Luhan was not close at all, but at this time he pulled further away. He looked at the blood-robed figure flying over, and then at Luhan. His face became extremely ugly. Have Sharingan are naturally Uchiha people, there are cold lights, and there are figures in blood robes, as long as people with normal thinking will think they are their own. Ma Ankang felt a little bit of fear in his heart. How strong would the Uchiha tribe be who could open Mangekyo in this era? Call. The figure in the blood robe finally stopped, more than 100 meters away from the two of them. The whole person was suspended above the sea. Under the shadow of the fat kabuto hat, a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan glowed with bright colors and slowly rotated. Luhan was on guard. The Ma Ankang people are even more alert. Senju Senluo turned his eyes with interest, looked at the two of them one after another, a strange smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, his eyes finally fell on Luhan, and said in a low voice, "Hello, Han, it's nice to meet you." To you. The strange tone contained a certain meaning. Hello. Luhan blinked twice, a big Yuhi name ran over to say hello. Is the brain sick? Boom. The water burst, but it was Ma Ankang who suddenly jumped up and ran away. The so-called running faster than a rabbit is not enough to describe the state of Ma Ankang, he is going crazy. They are indeed their own. What kind of dignity, what kind of courage? He already knew that Luhan's strength is very strong, and another one is even stronger. Hey, wait a minute, what are you running for? Senju Senluo was in a hurry, and he screamed a few times, and the Ma Ankang people naturally wouldn't stop. Senju Senluo couldn't help but scolded, asshole. Stop. Mangekyo Sharingan suddenly accelerated and turned. Senju rose to the sky in an instant, crossed an arc in the air, and landed on the sea in the distance. Senju only took 2 breaths, and he stopped in front of the fleeing Ma Ankang. Damn, Ma Ankang roared, and quickly hand seal. If I said I didn't come to kill you, would you believe it? Believe it or not, could you put your hand down first? I think we can talk. Senju spoke very fast, and he just finished the hand seal in Ma Ankang. Finished speaking before. There was only one last gesture left for the seal that Ma Ankang wanted to make, and he stopped abruptly. What do you mean? You guys keep fighting, I'm just here to see. Damn it, you can't deceive me, such a low-level deception. I'm here to kill Han, Lord Danzo's order, I would be grateful if you could help me kill him. What? Danzo wants to kill him? They're not. Ma Ankang was a little stunned. Oh, actually that bastard Danzo is not very good. I don't know why. Anyway, it was his order, hurry up. Kill that kid, and then I will kill you. Ah, sorry, just pretend I didn't say I was going to kill you. You. What am I? Don't look at me with such surprised eyes, okay. I'll be demonic illusion, are you afraid Tsukuyomi? You. Ma Ankang was completely stunned, he had never been so messy before. Luhan was also a little messy. He could see that, judging from Senju Senluo's demeanor, tone, and style, this guy was definitely sick. He is a psychopath, a mental patient with a powerful master. Why is there anyone at the root? Luhan murmured subconsciously. Chapter-203 I just want to kill you first. If you dare to run, I'll kill you first. Senju Senluo stared at the Ma Ankang man, so if you want to live longer, kill that kid. I promise when you fight each other. Don't intervene, if you fight him for a day and a night, you can live an extra day and a night. This logic. Ma Ankang's whole body was already confused, and he quickly retreated back 100 meters. Only then did he look back at Lu Han and then at Senju Senluo. His face was ruthless. You can't threaten me. Huh. Senju Senluo made a strange questioning sound, and raised his hands. If that's the case, then I'll kill you first. Jia, don't blame me for not reminding you. You will die very painfully. Senju Senra is about to perform ninjutsu. Hey, wait, Ma Ankang hurriedly shouted, with a look of grief and indignation on his face. Threatened by a psychopath. But Ma Ankang had a fluke mentality. He didn't want to face Senju Senluo's attack directly. If it was delayed for a while, when the sky was completely dark, there might be a chance to escape. Hey, kid, Senju tilted his head to look at Lu Han again. How about we agreed? If this guy dares to escape, we will kill him together. If you don't agree to me, I will kill you. Yes. Another illogical threat, but Senju Senra was serious. Lu Han was silent. He was still thinking about how to get out of the current predicament. The Senju Senluo rating and appellation reached 55 diamonds. Lu Han knew that it would be difficult for him to beat him. It is even possible to be directly killed by Senju Senluo's ultimate move. This is a dead end, and we need to find a way to revive it. Senju Senluo's meaning is already clear. He wants Lu Han and Ma Ankang to kill each other. One must die, and he will kill the one who survives. In the current situation, Senju will kill anyone who dares to run. Lu Han had a variety of options. He could run directly, and the Ma Ankang people would definitely run. The two ran in different directions. There is no doubt that Lu Han knew that Senju Senluo would choose to chase him first, because Senju Senluo would choose to chase him first. Luo was sent by Danzo. Or, cooperate with Ma Ankang people. Attack Senju Senra together. But Lu Han felt that it was impossible to win. This is equivalent to two Chunin teaming up to deal with a special Jonin. The probability of winning is extremely low. The Ma Ankang person is a level 50 bronze boss. At this time, Lu Han's overall strength is similar to that of the Ma Ankang person. The only thing missing is the investigation. Carrot, but can be replenished with potions. 250 bronze boss to fight a 55 diamond boss, how to fight. Besides, the Ma Ankang people might not necessarily cooperate completely. Even if they agreed to cooperate, Lu Han had to always be on guard against the Ma Ankang people's black hands. He agreed. If you don't speak, you will acquiesce. Senju Senluo looked at the Ma Ankang man again. Have you made up your mind now? Are you going to kill that kid, or just let me kill you? Hengguang. Ma Ankang suddenly shouted, looking at Senju Senluo on high alert, but speaking to Lu Han behind him. Hengguang. Let's cooperate. Let's kill this guy together. Then we will decide the outcome. Why? Like. The Ma Ankang people and Lu Han's thoughts coincided with what they just thought of, to join forces to kill Senju Senluo. For Ma Ankang people, this may be the only chance. I refuse. Lu Han's loud answer made Ma Ankang's face change dramatically. The Ma Ankang man suddenly looked back at Lu Han and asked in a hiss, why? I want to kill you first. Lu Han said indifferently. Kill me. What if you beat me? You'll still be killed by this guy. I just want to kill you first. Lu Han said again, with a firm tone. Han, ha ha ha, well said. I want to kill. Senju Senluo burst out laughing. You kill him first, then I kill you. That way you can live longer. Not bad, ha ha ha. Ma Ankang was stunned again, and turned to look at Senju Senluo, a mentally ill patient, and Lu Han on the other side. He suddenly felt that Lu Han was also mentally ill. What the hell is the logic? Come and fight. Boom. Lu Han suddenly shouted loudly and rushed up. The Ma Ankang man only paused for a moment and then went straight to Lu Han. He couldn't wait for Lu Han to kill him, let alone run. If he ran, the blood-robed psychopath would attack. So Lu Han took the initiative to attack him. He must fight. Senju Senluo was suspended in the air for half a meter above the sea. looking at Lu Han and Ma Ankang's approach, and started a fierce sword fight. His cheeks began to twitch, his mouth trembled unnaturally, and he let out a frantic whisper. Kill him, good, kill him. The strength of the collision of the blades brought a gust of wind, making the surrounding waves more violently undulating. Lu Han had already used all his sword skills, but the Ma Ankang people seemed to have deliberately slowed down his sword skills. In the previous sword showdown between the two, the Ma Ankang people had the absolute advantage, suppressing Lu Han to fight. And this time, he seems to have become weaker. On purpose. His killing intent towards Lu Han has weakened, because once he kills Lu Han, Senju Senluo will kill him. Moreover, he also expects to turn things around. Little devil, do you really like this kind of meaningless fight? No matter who wins, we can't beat that mentally ill, only if we join forces, we can still have a chance. Both of them were madly firing their swords, and the sound of breaking the air and the waves was extremely loud, covering up other voices, but Lu Han still heard the subtle voices from the Ma Ankang people. He was more urgent than Lu Han and hoped to join forces. I said it all, I'm going to kill you first. Lu Leng coldly responded. You, damn. I just want to kill you. Stop talking nonsense. All of a sudden, Lu Han's saber was even more powerful, and the strange power of physique was blessed in both hands. He just wants to kill the Ma Ankang people first. Because this is his only chance. The only chance to get out of here alive. 50 bronze boss with real strength. The high explosion rate of the first kill will allow Lu Han to get a lot of scrolls of magic, as well as spiritual medicine. This is Lu Han's chance. Putting the strength of 2 level 50 bronze bosses on one person is definitely not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. What's more, the first kill drop rules, may explode the skills that the killed person does not have. Chapter-204-Eat Fresh. Lu Han thought very clearly, first fight with the Ma Ankang people. If you don't win, you will die. Originally, the two were fighting for life and death, but they were disrupted by Senju Senluo who suddenly rushed out, so Lu Han didn't think about losing to the Ma Ankang people, only thinking about winning. Beat him. First kill the level 50 bronze boss. There will definitely be a lot of drop rewards. As long as Lu Han gives himself a certain respite, he can use up all the rewards that can be used. A drop reward for killing the level 50 white silver boss in Lu Han's space backpack, but he killed Ringo Rahei in seconds. Because it is not the first kill, the reward is definitely not as good as the first kill of the level 50 bronze boss. And Lu Han still has a fluke mentality, it will be dark soon, and when it is time to fight against Senju Senluo, if he really can't win, maybe he can run away. Senju Rosen can fly, has Mangekyo Sharingan, and has a rating of 55. Lu Han can't judge whether Senju Rosen has any shortcomings, so Lu Han can only prepare for the worst. Raiden, Thunder Style, False Darkness. Sweden, Water Style, The Art of Folding Mirrors. This time, Lu Han first found the opportunity and released a huge thunderbolt gun, while the Ma Ankang people instantly used a defensive ninjutsu. A large amount of water surged up in front of him instantly, and solidified into a side with a folded angle. The mirror, False Darkness, huge thunderbolt shot on the folding mirror, all turned into tiny electric currents. Call. Lu Han quickly backed away, waved his knife again, and the thick fog quickly filled the air. You, still using this trick? Ma Ankang snorted coldly, and directly hand seal performed the Kurigakur technique. Kaden, Fire Style, Meteor Shower. Boom. The firelight rushed into the sky, scattered into hundreds of fireballs, like cannonballs, smashing into the dense fog where the Ma Ankang people were, attacking indiscriminately in a large area. The dense fog was broken, the fireball hit the sea, and a large amount of water vapor rose into the sky. The Ma Ankang people disappeared. Humph. Lu Leng snorted, jumping back and hiding in the thick fog again. Whoa, swish 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 swish. The Ma Ankang people rushed out from the sea outside the dense fog, quickly completed the hand seal, and opened their mouths to spit out a large amount of water. Damn it! Lu Han's angry shout resounded in the thick fog. I found you! Ma Ankang's eyes narrowed, he squeezed a seal with one hand, and disappeared directly in place. Some kind of teleportation technique. In the blink of an eye, he appeared directly in the thick fog where Lu Han had just made his voice. Because of the extremely close distance, he could see Lu Han's blurry figure. Blade furious slash. Boom. Lu Han exploded into an electric current, a clone of Lei. The Ma Ankang people avoided with ultimate reaction consciousness, and their feet also left the water's surface below, but they were still numb from the electricity, because it was in the dense fog, and the water vapor was too heavy and it would conduct electricity. I'm here. The Ma Ankang man was still jumping. Lu Han appeared in the thick fog behind him, and the sickle slashed down in an instant. Clang. Boom. The two knives were swung at the same time. The left-hand knife blocked the attack of the sickle, and the right-hand knife smashed Lu Han again. It was Lei's clone again. The Ma Ankang man dodged again, and at the same time, a figure sprang out from under his feet in the sea, desperately trying to hug the Ma Ankang man, and the Ma Ankang man's hand was a kunai. Boom. It's Ray again. Ma Ankang was electrocuted again, although it wasn't much damage, it made him a little crazy. Shameless brat. Come out with the ability. Shameless thing. Use such rude tricks. The Ma Ankang man scolded and moved out of the dense fog area. He had to escape as soon as possible, otherwise he would be in the thick fog created by Han. He was only beaten. Lu Han had been standing dozens of meters to the right of the first blasting mine clone. He was drinking medicine. The Ma Ankang people rushed out of the dense fog area, suddenly jumped up again, and turned around in the air to hand seal. Futon, wind style, crushing. The terrifying wind blew away the dense fog, and in just a few breaths, the dense fog covering an area of several hundred meters was blown away. Lu Han disappeared. He was no longer in the thick fog. When the thick fog dissipated, he could not be seen on the sea. Ma Ankang took a breath. It was already dark, but there was moonlight, so the sea was dim rather than completely dark. Senju Senluo was standing on the sea in the distance, his blood-colored robe shaking in the wind. He was eating. Ma Ankang glanced back slightly, his eyes suddenly widened and he asked in surprise, "What are you eating?" "It's so fragrant. A bird flew from the sky just now, and it didn't fly away. I think it might want to be eaten." Senju Senluo answered Ma Ankang's question seriously. Ma Ankang's eyes widened again. "Another one." Senju Senro suddenly looked up at the sky. A Kurigakure sea bird ninja just flew over. Senju Senro looked at the roasted bird meat in his hand again. It was half-eaten. "Eat fresh." Senju Senluo directly threw away half the bird in his hand, and immediately shot into the sky like a cannonball. His Mangekyo Sharingan spun frantically, and the whole person was about to reach the limit. He grabbed the pigeon-sized seabird ninja in his hand, and opened his mouth to shoot out flames. A flame with just the right temperature will directly burn the seabird ninja to death, even the fur and skin. The fragrant roasted bird meat takes shape in an instant. Senju turned back at a high altitude, and rushed to the sea again. After 2 breaths, he suddenly stopped when he was half a meter away from the sea. He rolled over and returned to his previous posture, floating half a meter above the sea. It doesn't seem to be a kind of bird, the taste is different. Senju took a bite of the bird meat and said vaguely while chewing. Ma Ankang stared at Senju Senluo with his mouth slightly open, his face full of expressions that he was about to vomit blood. "What is he eating?" "He's eating Kurigakure, sea bird ninja beast." It's not that the Monkang people feel distressed for the village of Kurigakure, but that he can't understand, why does Senju Senra eat this kind of thing? Unlike beasts, the seabird ninja beasts that Kurigakure can perform alone are all intelligent. That is intelligent life. Senju Senra is eating intelligent life. Whoa! A figure suddenly appeared behind Ma Ankang, and the icy blade slashed towards Ma Ankang's neck in an instant. Chapter-205-1 Kill Level 50 Bronze Boss. Lu Han is the mark of the Shadow Flash technique that he played in the water. He hides in the water to find an opportunity to kill the Ma Ankang people with one blow. In the past, Lu Han was always worried that he was weaker than Ma Ankang, so he was very careful. However, it has been proved that he is not weaker than Ma Ankang. Lu Han did not expect that the opportunity would come so suddenly. Ma Ankang people actually attracted more attention than Senju Senrao, but it's not incomprehensible, because Senju Senrao is eating Kurigakure seabird ninja beasts, and besides, Senju Senrao is very dangerous. Everyone needs to pay attention. Shadow Flash. After Lu Han arrived behind Ma Ankang, the sickle was about to arrive at ultimate. Ma Ankang's reaction is also fast to ultimate. Shadow Flash is a speed-type instant body technique that can be cast instantly. The speed at short distances is faster than the basic instant body technique, but it will generate wind. Ma Ankang turned around almost as soon as Lu Han appeared behind him. He swung his two knives and flounders at the same time. He attacked and defended. He had already seen Lu Han's Rasengan, so he was always on guard. Lu Han's sickle was about to reach the ultimate, but it was blocked by the Ma Ankang man with a knife. The huge impact directly knocked the sickle out. Lu Han seemed to have missed his hand and didn't hold the knife. At the same time, another knife from the Ma Ankang man stabbed into Lu Han's heart. At this moment, Lu Han should have retreated. He wanted to take the lead, and he would not be stabbed to death by the Ma Ankang people, but he did not hide. Lu Han had no weapons in his hands. Can't stop. Did not hide. It is even more impossible to perform ninjutsu. Instant ninjutsu must also have a process of chakra running in the body. The tip of the knife is already in the heart, and it is too late. Everything happened so fast. The corner of Ma Ankang's mouth evoked a faint arc, because he knew that he won. Poochie. The flounder knife pierced Lu Han's heart and came out directly from Lu Han's back. At the same time, Lu Han tightly hugged Ma Ankang's shoulders with both arms. The pain in his heart made his face pale, but he laughed. Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, Dance of the Golden Amber. Kai, 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 kai. With a piercing sound, the smile that Ma Ankang had just revealed ended at this moment. More than 10 bone spurs pierced his body up and down, and 5 or 6 bone spurs concentrated on the torso to penetrate together. In fact, Lu Han doesn't like killing people in this way. The technical content is too low. In exchange for the opportunity to kill the opponent by getting injured himself, Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, is also used. This is a fighting method that can turn Lu Han's defeat into victory. It is suitable to be used to save life at a critical moment, and it is used as a stunt, but to kill the enemy casually in this way is not very beneficial to Lu Han. There will be no training to grow. Lu Han has been in the Hokage world for more than half a year, and he has fought many battles, big and small, so that he can now play against the super elite Jonin. Lu Han relies not only on the rewards given by the rules, but also on his own unremitting efforts. Battle awareness, reaction awareness, hand seal speed, situation judgment, tactical strategy. If Lu Han always relies on his vital body and Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, to fight, and he cannot get the training he deserves, then he will definitely die at the hands of the Ma Ankang people today. Unable to keep up with the rhythm of Ma Ankang played 2 ninjutsu in a row. His hand seal was not fast enough, he could only put 1, then he would die. Moreover, from another point of view, relying on the special body and Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, to kill the enemy under the name of injury may also bring Lu Han himself in danger of death. Because Lu Han is not the only ninja in this world who is not afraid of physical damage. If he encounters a character like Hidan in the original book, or a ninja with the ultimate self-healing ability of the Master, or a ninja with hydration ability of the Ghost Lamp clan, Lu Han rushes up, and he is sent to the door to seek death. Lu Han is not afraid of ordinary physical damage. Because of Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, his bones are as hard as steel, and he is not afraid of being decapitated. But if faced with ninjutsu attacks, Lu Han is not much different from other ninjas. AC level Kaden, fire style, can burn him to ashes, and AC level Sweden, water style, impact may destroy all his flesh and blood. Shred. If it weren't for the special situation today, Luhan would definitely continue to fight with the Ma Ankang people, using their real strength to fight for life and death, until the winner is determined. Time seemed to stand still. Luhan hugged Ma Ankang's shoulders, and he had turned into a big hedgehog, piercing through Ma Ankang's body one by one. The Ma Ankang man has been fixed. He still maintains the posture of stabbing Luhan with a knife, and the hand holding the handle of the knife is shaking. You would rather die. Also, kill me. Ma Ankang made a vague voice. As long as he opened his mouth, a large amount of blood would flow out of his mouth. He knew that he was going to die, and he was not reconciled. There are still many questions. Why does Hangguang have Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse? Why did Hangguang fight to the death with himself? Just kill you. Luhan leaned into Ma Ankang's ear and made a small voice. Ma Ankang's hands were weak, and immediately after the water splashed, the two fell into the sea at the same time, exuding blood, sinking to the bottom of the sea, and a large amount of blood dyed the seawater Yuhi. Senju Senrao, who was biting into the barbecue, was stunned and blinked in confusion. Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse. Sharingan. There are these two kinds of Kekkei Genkei. Has he also been transplanted? If they all die like this, it's a pity. At least one has to survive and let me kill, or did I come here in vain? What kind of bullshit task did the bastard Danzo give him? He said it was a murder. It's no longer necessary to kill. Senju Senluo thought for a while, the corners of his mouth twitched, and he took a bite of the roasted seabird meat in resentment. What a pity, he's only 12 years old. 13. He looked sober than me and just died. Why did Danzo want him to die? Could it be because he couldn't control him? Damn Danzo, it's just this planting tricks to control people. Senju Senluo was suddenly stunned, lowered his head slightly, and looked towards the blood-stained Yuhi. Mangekyo Sharingan twirled frantically in his eyes. He wanted to see clearly and see the depths of the water. Why is his chakra increasing? He's not dead. That guy is already dead, and he can't feel the flow of chakra, but Han. Is he going to hide below and pretend to be dead? Senju Senluo's eyes filled with strangeness color. Chapter-206 Mokuden, Wood Style. Not long after nightfall, somewhere in Kurigakure village. In a small and quiet room, a middle-aged man with long black hair sat cross-legged on a futon. His eyes were closed, and his whole body was rippling with peaceful chakra fluctuations. At the moment when the Ma Ankang people died in the sea in the faraway Jonbei Sea, the black-haired middle-aged man in Kurigakure suddenly opened his eyes, and the peaceful chakra fluctuations instantly became extremely violent. The moment before was still water, but at this moment, it was furious like a sea of rage. Kangren is dead. He is dead after all. The black-haired middle-aged man whispered in a trembling voice, clenching his fists slowly. Call. A whirlwind suddenly rolled up at the door, and a young ninja appeared out of thin air, kneeling on one knee and respectfully saying, Lord Boiling Rain. What happened? The dark-haired middle-aged man's breath changed so suddenly, which caught the attention of the gatekeeper ninja outside. Boiling Rain. A name that is not well known outside of Kurigakure. Even the high-level ninja villages of other countries know very little about it, because he is very mysterious. He even gave up the opportunity to inherit the position of Mizukage in order to study forbidden technique, hiding in Kurigakure all the year round. In the village, even Kurigakure ninjas rarely see him. When he was young, he accompanied the first-generation Mizukage Bai Lian to participate in the first 5 Shadows talks, and was the person Bai Lian trusted the most. After Bai Lian passed away, he was most likely to become the second-generation Mizukage. As a result, he voluntarily backed down and supported Ghost Lantern, who was a few years older than him, as the second-generation Mizukage. It's him, the current Kurigakure village Mizukage assistant, Boiling Rain. He used the forbidden technique to save the dying Maankang people, and he also left a special technique on the Maankang people. This technique will not have any effect on the Maankang people. The first time Ankang died was felt. Just now, he felt it. The The Ma Ankang man whose life was saved by forbidden technique is dead. There was silence in the room. Go and tell Lord Mizukage. Boyu finally spoke, his voice extremely low, the genius among the 7 members of the Mist Ninja Sword, Ma Ankang, is dead. What? The young Kurigakure looked up suddenly, shocked. Wait. Boyu suddenly raised his hand and made a stop gesture, frowning as if thinking of something. He's not alone, if he dies, then. Boyu immediately brought his fingers to his mouth, bit his thumb, wiped the blood from his thumb on the palm of his hand, quickly completed the hand seal, and patted the bloody hand on the ground in front of him. Spiritual. The curse spread quickly, and then white smoke rose. 4 weapons appeared on the psychic array, to be precise, 2 pairs of weapons, the double sword flounder, and thunder blade kiba. Boiling Rain's eyelids jumped and his eyes were gloomy like water. As a ninja who has studied forbidden technique all the year round and has developed a variety of forbidden techniques, Boiling Rain is the only ninja in Kurigakure who has the ability to directly summon 7 special ninja knives, but there are also conditions. That is, the Boiling Rain can only be summoned when the special ninja sword loses its owner. Double Sword Flounder and the Thunder Sword Kiba were summoned, which means Boyu grabbed the 4 weapons with a violent wave, and threw them to the young ninja at the door. He looked up at the ninja and said in a low voice, "Give it to Lord Mizukage and tell him that Ma Ankang and Ringo Rahei have died in battle. It can only be killed in battle, otherwise it is impossible for the 2 ninja swords to lose their masters at the same time." Who killed them? Is it cold? The North Sea, the land of water at night, is 100 meters underwater. Standing on the coral reef, Luhan took the sharp bone spurs into his body, and then pulled out the flounder and flounder knives inserted in his heart. He was dead, but he still held the knife tightly. Luhan immediately went to get the flounder and flounder knife in the hands of the Ma Ankang man. The 2 knives were all in Luhan's hands. The Ma Ankang man's body was useless. He kicked out directly and kicked the corpse of Ma Ankang to the trench beside him. Crack! The double knife flounder suddenly trembled, and a surgical spell appeared on the knife, and then the 2 knives disappeared into Luhan's hands at the same time. Luhan's expression froze. Psychic. Who is psychic gone? Ghost Lantern Moon. Luhan subconsciously realized that Ghost Lantern Manu has this ability in the original book, and he has a psychic scroll that can summon 7 knives. Forget it, if I don't have it, it's gone. I have the blade of Kurigakure and the blade of Jinghong. The knives of the 7 ninja swordsmen are not much use in my hands, and I can't recycle them to exchange ingots. Luhan saw it openly, and didn't think much about it. He took out the big blue bottle and the big Yuhi bottle and drank a few quickly. Then he swam to the north. He gave up the Kurigakure blade before, and the Kurigakure blade was beaten. When it flew in that direction and fell into the sea. Luhan had to find it. Swimming 100 meters underwater is a challenge for Luhan. While holding his breath, he has to withstand the water pressure and gravity. Luhan needs to continuously consume a lot of chakra to maintain his physical condition. Ninjas can also drown. Many Suiten water-style ninjutsu have attack effects that drown the enemy. It only took half a minute for Luhan to find the blade of Kurigakure smoothly. It was in the gap between the 2 coral reefs, because he had injected a large amount of chakra into the blade of Kurigakure to continuously create thick fog. It has a weak connection with the Kurigakure blade, so it is not difficult to find. Getting the blade of Kurigakure, Luhan looked up again, and then took out the potion again to replenish chakra. In the sea at night, it was almost pitch black. In fact, there is still light. There is moonlight on the sea, and it will be transmitted underwater. The deeper the place, the weaker the light. For Luhan, who has 3 Tomo Sharingan, only a little is enough. That guy should be gone, right? He'll never come down, it's pointless to pick up corpses. Luhan thought, turned and started to dive south. The water pressure of 100 meters underwater was really strong, and Luhan couldn't swim too fast. Whoa, 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 whoa. The strange sound suddenly sounded. Luhan suddenly raised his head, and saw more than a dozen vines shoot down, twisting and approaching like a spirit snake that was swiftly moving in the water, and in the blink of an eye, they arrived in front of Lu Han. Lu Han's face changed dramatically, and at the same time as he slashed with his knife, thunder exploded in his mind. What is this? Mokuden, wood style. Chapter-207-green name. Lu Han can only suspect that this is Mokuden, wood style. This is the sea, not the land. If it were on land, there might be a secret technique to create vines, but in the sea, apart from Mokuden, wood style, Lu Han thought there is no other way to make vines. Senju Senluo will be Mokuden, wood style. This made Lu Han think of a person, Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara is the Uchiha tribe. There is Sharingan. He also master Mokuden, wood style, because of Senju Hashirama's cells transplanted. Senju Senluo's situation is just the opposite. He is a Senju clan, master Mokuden, wood style, but has Sharingan. His Sharingan should be transplanted, but I don't know, is his Mokuden, wood style, by practicing master, or is it also transplanted with Senju Hashirama cells? Only Senju Hashirama has Mokuden, wood style, in the true sense. Others that have Mokuden, wood style, Yamato, Uchiha Madara, Danzo, Uchiha Obito, etc., all rely on Senju Hashirama's cells. Therefore, Lu Han is more willing to believe that Senju Senluo's Mokuden, wood style, is also obtained through Senju Hashirama cells. Only in this way can the fact that he is a root ninja be better explained. Thoughts, and at the same time, he continuously swung the sickle to cut off the vines that were hit. The strange thing was that the vines did not entangle Lu Han too much. He disappeared from Lu Han's sight. He knows I'm not dead. Is he reminding me? Lu Han understood. Under the hazy moonlight, on the stormy sea, Senju Senluo was calling out the bird bones, and his expression seemed to be bored waiting. Boom! The sea burst. Lu Han rushed out and landed on the sea dozens of meters away from Senju Senluo. His shoulders rose and fell rapidly. He had been holding his breath for a long time in the sea just now, and his body was severely hypoxic. He had to gasp for breath with the horizontal knife in front of him. Lu Han looked at Senju Senluo's face, completely avoiding Senju Senluo's eyes. That was Mangekyo, and Lu Han didn't want to be killed by Senju's demonic illusion. Tisk tisk tisk, it's really interesting. I thought it was a boring killing mission, but I didn't expect to meet a weird kid like you. Senju Senluo came to the spirit and looked at Lu Han with interest. Han. You tell me did you have the same transplant experiment as me? Lu Han was taken aback. He was stunned not because Senju Senluo asked anything, but because he noticed that Yuhi's name on the top of Senju Senluo's head had changed. Yuhi turned orange, orange changed to Yuhi. It kept flashing. Is he hesitating? What are you hesitating about? It's because of that problem. Has Han conducted a transplant trial? What do you think? Master Sharingan and Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse, at the same time, what do you think is the situation? Lu Han didn't answer directly, but instead asked, because he didn't know how to answer correctly. If the answer is wrong, maybe this mental illness will start immediately. I think, maybe it is. That bastard Danzo, yes, and that bastard Sarutobi Hiruzen, these two bastards conducted a lot of human transplant experiments in order to win the war. Senju Senluo touched his chin and said, the name above his head was still flashing. Malicious. Not malicious. Only in his mind. One thing is obvious, that is, he can ignore Danzo's orders. He is not loyal to Danzo, he doesn't even have the least respect, but he doesn't know why he sacrificed his life for Danzo. Presumably, his strength should be no better than Danzo's. Weak. This guy, he asked this kind of question, he used to be Yuhi, he was determined to kill me, and knowing that I was Shikatsumyaku, dead bone pulse, he asked me if I had done a transplant trial and started to hesitate kill me, that is. And he doesn't like Danzo and hates Sarutobi Hiruzen. Lu Han thought for a while, then said, yes, I have done a transplant experiment. And I know who you are. Who am I? Senju Senro. Ha ha ha, Senju Senluo, Senju, ha 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 ha. Senju Senluo laughed wildly, as if he was about to burst into tears. Luhan looked at him calmly, ignoring the laughter. It's normal for a mentally ill person to laugh suddenly. If he acts like a normal person, then he is not mentally ill. Han, tell me, how did you get rid of Danzo's control? Senju asked calmly again. He didn't control me. Luhan spoke very slowly. He was organizing the words, afraid of saying the wrong thing. I am a perfect test subject. He is afraid of affecting me, and Lord Hokage will not allow Danzo to do anything to me. Control. I was meant to be free. Lucky kid. Senju Senluo's voice suddenly became much lower, and Luhan could hear a feeling of sadness. This psychopath was feeling sad for himself. Not only was he controlled, but his brain was not normal. Why did that bastard Danzo want to kill you? Because I'm an Anbu ninja, and I'm under Hokage-sama. Hokage-sama didn't want to kill me, right? It's all Danzo's orders, right? Damn Danzo, you want to fight for power. Shameless. Disgusting. Well, he is very disgusting. This is not the first time he has tried to kill me. Before you came to kill me, Shimura Hozo also came to attack me. It was Danzo's order, but I killed him instead. Ha ha ha, good kill. I can feel that you are being controlled by Danzo. You actually hate Danzo very much. You asked so much just now. I want to ask you now, do you still want to kill me? Luhan looked at Senju Senluo, holding the hilt of the knife, his hand strained a little more. The name above Senju Senro's head has begun to flash rapidly, and Yuhi oranges change back and forth. I don't have to kill you, but you have to promise me one thing. Senju Senluo's voice was solemn. What's the matter? Help me kill Danzo. Kill. I want him to die. I don't need to promise you this. Because even without you, I will definitely kill him. It's just a matter of time. I'm a man who has revenge. Good. Ha 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 ha. Good. I believe you can. You must be able. You are only 12 years old. You already have this strength. Ha ha ha. You must be able to kill Danzo. Senju Senluo laughed wildly. The name above his head suddenly stopped blinking, set to orange. Then it changed again. Green. Senju Senra becomes a green name. Chapter-201-220 Green name. Luhan was stunned. This was the first time he saw the name of this color. Elf. Green name. You didn't tell me, did you? Luhan asked in his heart. How many colors are there in the character name display? 4 kinds, replied the elf. 4 kinds. Luhan was stunned for a second. The color of the character's name shows different colors, which represent different attitudes towards the subversive. Elf continued, Yuhi color is malicious. Characters that will cause damage to the subversive are displayed in the Yuhi color, and the subversive can only kill. This kind of drop rewards will only be given to the character with the name. Quote. Orange, the names of characters whose attitude towards subversives are neutral are displayed in orange. In fact, this includes strangers who do not know subversives, and people who have goodwill or a favorable impression of subversives. The reason why they are judged as neutral is because of their orange names. It's easy for characters to change their attitudes towards subversives, and if subversives do the wrong thing, they are likely to turn into Yuhi's hostile characters. I understand. Luhan interjected. He thought of Tsunade. Tsunade is still an orange name, just because she might change her attitude towards Luhan. If Luhan betrayed Konoha, Tsunade would definitely be very sad. She might become Yuhi name. Green, a character with absolute goodwill towards subversives. It is extremely difficult to change his attitude towards subversives. As long as he is a character with a green name, he will never do anything to harm the subversive. It is difficult for a character with a green name to appear. Only people of the opposite sex who love subversives will change their green names. Quote. Deep love. Luhan glanced at Senju Senluo. Although he knew that Senju Senluo would definitely not fall in love with him, and he was not the opposite sex, but still felt strange, a little chill. Why would Senju Senluo change to a green name? What is the judgment? Can't answer. Well, what's the last color? Colorless. The name is displayed in a transparent state. The nameless person will never change his attitude towards the subversive, and he is willing to do anything for the subversive at any time, including giving his life. Understood. That's how most ninjas in the roots have this attitude towards Danzo right now. Absolute loyalty, right? Not just loyalty, but Disruptor 3665 is right. While Luhan communicated with the elf, Senju Senluo kept looking at Luhan. Mangekyo's Sharingan was still spinning slowly. For a while, Senju Senluo couldn't help but ask, "What are you thinking? Why don't you talk to me?" "I'm just thinking." Luhan refocused his eyes on Senju Senluo's face. He finally dared to look directly into Senju Senluo's eyes. "Why do you believe me?" "Actually, I didn't believe you. Ha ha ha. You're too weak, you can't kill me." "Don't believe me, you won't kill me. Do you want to die that much?" Luhan seemed to be choking, but he was actually speechless by a mentally ill question. "Are you worried that I'll lie to you? Do you think I need to lie to you?" Senju Senluo's logical ability seemed to suddenly increase, and a self-deprecating smile appeared on his young and pale face. "I don't need to lie to you, neither do I. I don't need to really believe you. I just have to believe that you will kill Danzo." "Kill him, right? Ha ha ha. You will get revenge, right? I believe you will. That's enough." Obsession. Luhan suddenly understood. Why did Senju Senro become a green name? Because he has the obsession to let Danzo die, and Luhan is the one who might kill Danzo in the future. Maybe he already thought that Luhan would definitely be able to kill Danzo in the future. As he said, "That's enough." Be extreme. Even if Luhan has the ability to kill Senju Senluo now, kill him. He may also have a green name. Because he doesn't care about other things. As long as Danzo can die, everything is worth it. Of course, at this time, Luhan will definitely not attack Senju Senluo, even if he has that kind of strength. Even though Senju Senluo is a level 55 diamond boss, he is a green name. There will be no drop bonus for killing him. There might even be punishment. Having said that, as long as Luhan's brain is normal, he will definitely not hurt Senju Senluo. Such a powerful ally is hard to come by. "If you don't kill me, how will you explain to Danzo when you go back?" Luhan asked again. "I don't need to explain to him." Senju grinned. "Originally this time, it was Sarutobi Hiruzen's order. He asked me to save you. But Danzo asked me to kill you. This time, after I return to Konoha, we'll report the situation to that bastard Sarutobi Hiruzen and let him dog with Danzo. Ha ha ha. It will be fun. I've found someone who can kill Danzo. It doesn't matter. What if Danzo kills me? It doesn't matter. Ha ha ha. No, don't do this." Luhan hurriedly shouted, combining what Senju Senluo said before and what he just said. The meaning is very clear. Danzo controls Senju Senluo, and he can easily kill Senju Senluo at any time. Luhan naturally didn't want such a thing to happen. He finally had a powerful ally who could be completely trusted. How could he let him die easily? Why not? Because. Why are you in such a hurry to die? Why are you dying? I have less than 5 years left to live, and I will die a few years early and die a few years later. Then you should be alive. Maybe you will see the day I kill Danzo with your own eyes. It seems to make sense. You really are more sane than me. So, when you go back and say you didn't find me, whether Danzo believes you or not, just say so. He can't do anything to you, can he? What can't he do to me? What does he dare to do to me? Ha ha ha, the only thing he can threaten me is my life, but he can't bear to kill me easily. Then it's settled. You said you didn't find me. Okay, it's settled. I look forward to seeing you kill Danzo with my own eyes. ... Time flies, 2.5 months later. Time has come to the beginning of April in Konoha 31 years. Luhan has been fleeing for nearly 4 months in the land of water. On this day, he finally boarded the merchant ship bound for the land of Vortex and officially set foot on the road back to Konoha village. Chapter 0209 _ The Way Home. These 2.5 months have been full of thrills for Lu Han, but they have been honed enough for him. He escaped from the North Island of the Land of Water to the Central Main Island of the Land of Water, then escaped from the Central Main Island to the Southwest Island, and then arrived at the West Island of the Land of Water. In the end, he concealed his identity and successfully boarded the West Island of the Land of Water and sent it to the Vortex merchant ships of the country. He had to take a detour. He could have gone directly to the West Island from the main island, which was the closest way, but Lu Han had exposed traces on the main island, which led to the Kurigakure village directly cutting off the waterway between the main island and the West Island, and the blockade was extremely strict. Lu Han had to detour to Southwest Island first. Thrilling all the way. Since the death of Ringo Hiwa and Ma Ankang, the Water Country sent not only scouts and Anbu, but also the main battle corps stationed in Kurigakure village to join the search, and more seabird ninjas participated. Searching, this Lu Han caused a lot of trouble. Mainly because the geographical structure of the country of water is too special. As long as Lu Han goes to the sea, he may be discovered by seabird ninja beasts. In fact, just half a month ago, the country of water had lifted the blockade of the whole territory. In fact, the village of Kurigakure wanted to be blocked forever, but the shogunate of the country of water did not agree. The blockade of the border severely affected the trade between the country of water and other countries. There was even public grievances in the country of water, and the name of the country of water was under pressure. Even if he doesn't consider public grievances, he also considers his own taxes. Without the cooperation of the great name of the country of water, Kurigakure village was unable to block the country of water, but still devoted more ninjas and search for ninja beasts. This is the reason why Lu Han did not leave the country of water as soon as the blockade ended. The West Sea, the Land of Water, is the sea between the Land of Water and the Land of Vortex, so it is called the Sea of Water Vortex in other countries. On the Endless Sea, a large merchant ship with a length of 70 meters was breaking through the waves. This is a comprehensive trade merchant ship that carries a large number of unique products of the Land of Water, including special fish and shrimp from the South China Sea of the Land of Water, and special ore from Yamanaka, the main island of the Land of Water. Not all of these goods are sold to the Land of Eddy. After the country, different business groups will take their own goods and transport them to the country of fire, the country of tea, and even the country of wind. This is the business of ordinary people, and the big businessmen are almost ordinary people, so they don't care about the grievances between ninjas. The grievances between the ninja and ninja villages are far away from ordinary people unless the war starts. Unlike the Sengoku era, since the establishment of the 5 major ninja villages, all the major wars that have occurred since then are just wars of ninjas, and ordinary people do not participate. I don't have the ability to participate, but it will definitely be affected. The Second Ninja World War is about to break out in the near future, and life will be ruined at that time. The most injured are always those at the bottom and the most ordinary people. At night, the merchant ships were brightly lit, and they were still breaking through the waves. In the third-floor cabin, in the dimly lit guest room, the two sat opposite each other at the wooden table. "Uncle Lee Ji-yu, it's your turn." Lu Han moved his chess pieces and smiled at the bearded middle-aged man in front of him. The bearded man scratched his head and stared at the checkers board, unable to figure out what to do for a while. Lee Ji-yu, a merchant in the Land of Tea, the owner of the small business group Yangfan. On this general merchant ship, some of the goods belonged to Legu. There were a total of 12 members of the sailing merchant group, all of whom were on this merchant ship at this time. Lu Han was Lee Ji-yu, whom he met 5 days ago. He pretended to be a poor boy in the country of water. He said he wanted to go to another country to meet the world. He promised to work for Li Gubai. Lee Ji-yu happily agreed. A request to bring Lu Han on board. In fact, Lu Han has the ability to get into the merchant ship directly. He is a ninja. But in that case, he has to hide all the time, which is inconvenient. He now has an official identity on the merchant ship, and there are many people who can prove his identity, and he is not afraid of anything. There are also ninjas on merchant ships. The owner of the merchant ship is a rich man in the land of water, and the hired guards are Kurigakure ninjas. These Kurigakure ninjas will also check the identity of the guests on the merchant ships. At this time, Luhan is not afraid of the inspections by those Chunin genins, because he is not the same as 4 months ago. This is only half a year old, and 13-year-olds are growing their bodies. Luhan also has Shikatsumiku, dead bone pulse, which can stimulate bones to grow faster. It is real growth, not bones formed with chakra. Mass proliferation. In the past half a year, Luhan has grown nearly 10 centimeters taller, and is nearly 1.7 meters tall. Thinner in physique, looks a little malnourished. The face shape doesn't change much, just the changes of normal children when they grow up. If it is Kurigakure Jonin, it is estimated that it is possible to directly see Luhan's identity, and if it is Kurigakure Chunin or Genin, they may not have seen Luhan's portrait at all. The ninjas who searched Luhan were all from Kurigakure's scout troop, Anbu, as well as the main battle corps, the garrison corps, and the ninjas who would be hired by businessmen. All of them were free mission ninjas from Kurigakure. The information of Hangwang is kept secret in Kurigakure, and not everyone can know it, and ordinary people in Kurigakure who have participated in the blockade and search do not know who they are looking for. Everyone is brought to the front of the Kurigakure ninja, and the Kurigakure ninja will identify it, and anyone will bring it over. No matter if it is men or women, or young or old, if you find it, you should take it with you. Moreover, for Luhan of Master 3 Tomo Sharingan, he is really not afraid that Chunin Genin sees his face, and what they see is not true. Luhan will be demonic illusion. Call. A slight chakra fluctuation suddenly appeared in the dark corner of the room. Luhan raised his eyebrows slightly, and immediately raised his hand to yawn. Boy, are you sleepy? Li Jiyu glanced at him and said, then stop playing. Well, okay. Luhan rubbed his eyes and said. Li Jiyu immediately got up, yawned too, turned around and walked out. The door opened and closed, Li Jiyu left, and a figure floated out from the dark corner of the room. It really floated out. His feet were half a meter from the floor, and he was wearing a bloody yuhi-colored robe. It was Senju Sen. Luo. Why are you here again? What's the matter? Luhan turned a Byakugan to Senju Senrao. Chapter-201-220 Escape. Yang done. Senju Senrao floated to the wooden table, the slowly spinning Mangekyo Sharingan gradually stopped. He also landed on his feet, sat down, raised his hand and took off his fat kabuto hat. He is really young. He looks no more than 20 years old. His face is scary white because he has not seen the sun all the time. His eyes are not right. His long black hair is messy. He looks like just escaped from a mental hospital out of the mentally ill. I'm so bored. I don't even have anyone to talk to. Senju sighed. Don't go back to Konoha? Luhan asked. I'll go back soon. The time is up. If I don't go back, I'll be crazy. I might do something by then. I'll die. 3 months. Isn't there a few days left? If it's too late, go back to Konoha from here. If you fly back, it is estimated that 2 days will be enough. Pervert. Yes, I am pervert. Well, it's good that you know. Luhan was helpless. He really couldn't chat with mental illness. This is the 6th meeting between Luhan and Senju Senluo. After they parted ways in Jonbeihai that day, Senju Senluo would find Luhan again every once in a while. He had mentioned to Luhan more than once that he could take Luhan out of the water country, but was rejected by Luhan. To make a play and a full set, Luhan must create the illusion that Senju Senluo has never found it. He must leave clues so that people can make sure that he has been fleeing in the country of water, and he does not want to give up this training in the country of water. If he relies on Senju Senluo to leave the country of water, then he can't go back to Konoha directly. It's too fake, so he will quickly escape from the country of water. Senju Senluo can fly, that's his Mangekyo's ability, but Luhan can't. These few meetings, the two talked about a lot of things. Senju Senluo didn't hide anything. Maybe he didn't have anything to hide, at least for Lu Han. He was mentally ill, but he wasn't stupid at all. Lu Han already knew what kind of test body Senju Senluo was. He is a failed test subject. But in contrast, he is successful. During the First Ninja World War, in the 15th year of Konoha, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was then Konoha's agent Hokage, agreed to Danzo's proposal and conducted a large-scale human experiment in order to end the war as soon as possible. I want to experiment to create a powerful ninja that can turn the tide of battle. It was a very special human experiment, with a total of 79 test subjects. 78 of them all died and only one survived. It was Senju Senrao, who was 13 years old that year. 15 years later, Senju Senrao was 28 years old, but he didn't look like he was 20 years old, and it was also a hangover from that experiment. The reason why the test was special was because there were 79 test subjects. From the age of 7 to 15, they are all Senju ninjas. All are. Danzo's idea is crazy. He wants to make a combination of Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. An incomparably powerful existence is controlled by him. If he succeeds, he will master unimaginable power, and it is not a problem to ascend to the position of Hokage. 79 test subjects, all of them were transplanted with Senju Hashirama's cells, and Sharingan. Uchiha ninjas died in battles almost every day. Sarutobi Hiruzen, as Hokage, wanted to get Sharingan easily. Just destroy the corpses and tell the Uchihas that the ninjas who died in battle have been burned. As a result of the test, only Senju Senrao survived. And the reason why he survived was not by chance, but because what he transplanted was not Tomo Sharingan, but Mangekyo. Of the 79 test subjects, the only one who was transplanted into Mangekyo was him. There is only one Mangekyo. It's Uchiha Kagami's Mangekyo Sharingan. Uchiha Kagami died in the First Ninja World War, and he, like Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo, was a disciple of Hokage Senju Tobirama, the second generation. Senju Hashirama's cells contain extremely powerful energy. That is the power of Yongdun. The other test subjects couldn't bear it, neither could Senju Senrao, but he survived because of the powerful enough yin power contained in Mangekyo Sharingan. Enough to compete with the masculine power in Senju Hashirama cells. But this also produced extremely serious sequelae. For 15 years, Senju Senluo has been living in pain. He has been receiving treatment. Most of the time, he is insane. He is locked in a secret dungeon. Senju Senluo said everything to Lu Han. He told Lu Han that his left eye is the ability to fly, and his right eye is the strongest demonic illusion Tsukuyomi, but it is difficult for him to use Susanoo. He said that once he uses Susanoo, his body will be yin and yang. The power will be completely unbalanced, and the result is death. And Danzo has cast a curse on him not to commit suicide, so it is difficult for him to use Susanoo, but it is not absolute, he has not tried it. Relatively speaking, Senju Senluo's power is still too weak. He is not Uchiha Madara, nor is he a powerful existence like the Six Paths Immortal. He does not have the ability to completely control the yin and yang. These two forces will always confront him from time to time. This is the source of his pain. If it wasn't for the fact that he was a Senju clan, born with strong vitality, he would have been tossed to death long ago. In fact, he himself has Yongdun, the Senju family has it, and it is not limited to the Senju family. The Akamichi family inherits the secret multiplication technique, and also uses the power of Yongdun, but it is one thing, how strong is another time thing. Compared with the yang escape power contained in Senju Hashirama's cells, Senju Senluo's own yang escape power is pitifully weak and can be completely ignored. The main reason Senju Senrao couldn't completely control the two powers was because neither of the two powerful powers belonged to him, and no one had the ability to help him integrate them. In the dark cabin room, while Senju Senluo and Lu Han were talking, he stretched out his hand to pick up the checkers, and took a step forward. It was still the unfinished game of chess between Lu Han and Li Jiyu. When can you get to Konoha? Senju Senro asked, looking at the board. It may take 7 or 8 days. Luhan took a step forward and glanced at Senju Senluo. When will I see you next time? Chapter-201-220 He may be dead. Next time. Senju blinked for a moment, and the corners of his mouth trembled again. Damn Danzo. This mission failed. He will definitely keep me locked unless there is a particularly important mission. There will be. The war will break out soon. It will take at most half a year. Luhan interrupted Senju Senluo directly. What Luhan said was more certain. If there is a task. Senju Senluo paused, then moved another step. Then after half a year, maybe he will send me to kill you. Welcome anytime. Luhan grinned and followed suit. Senju Senluo took another step without thinking about it this time. The two of them played chess faster, almost non-stop. After more than 10 moves, Senju Senluo took away Luhan's big name, chess piece, grinned and said, "Eat." You lost. Another game. No. Luhan showed a sad expression. This is not the first time he has lost to mentally ill. It is undeniable that Senju Senluo's thinking is somewhat abnormal, but his IQ is really very high. Many times when he says something wrong with his logic, it's not that there is a problem with his logic, but that other people don't think deeply. At checkers, Luhan has never defeated Senju Senluo. Call. The candle in the cabin room suddenly went out, then came on again, and then went out again. Don't play, okay, Luhan croaked. It's so boring. Senju Senluo also cocked his mouth, the candle lighted again, and finally stopped flickering. Okay, come, play chess. Luhan said helplessly. The board was rearranged, and the two began to play checkers again. You're going to die in 5 years. Can you be absolutely sure? Yes, die. I really want to die. It's too painful to live. Those two powers have been growing, and within 5 years, they will grow to a sufficient strength. When they fight against each other again, my body will no longer be able to bear it. I will die. Good. Your thoughts are too negative. Maybe there will be a person who can help you suppress and integrate those two forces and let you really control them. Is it possible? Haha, are you? Something that Sarutobi Hiruzen can't do. Is there anyone stronger than him in this world today? Perhaps. Maybe. Well, no matter what, Danzo can still kill me easily. What if Danzo dies first? He's dead. I'm going to die too. What? Luhan's whole body was shaken, and he suddenly raised his head to look at Senju Senluo. You will die too. Yeah. Senju Senluo seemed to be saying something very ordinary. He used a life hooking technique on me, and he also told me that he could only use this technique once in his life, and he used it on me. Let me not have the mind to resist. Our lives are connected. He is the subject. He can easily obliterate my life. I can't resist, and if he dies, my life will end, and my life will end with it. Ha ha ha. Isn't that funny? Then you asked me to kill him. Luhan's eyes widened. Does it matter? Senju Senro asked rhetorically. Luhan was speechless again. This is Senju Senluo's logic. Danzo must die. This obsession has been integrated into his soul. Maybe. Luhan looked at the chessboard again, but stopped, and didn't say any more. What he wants to say is yin and yang escape. Perhaps the power of yin and yang can save Senju Senluo. No matter how powerful Danzo's spell is, it will collapse under the power of yin and yang, but this idea is too whimsical. Original work. Uchiha Madara rescued Uchiha Obito. Obito himself has a yin escape. Madara repaired Obito's body with Hashirama cells, allowing him to have a yang escape, but he can use the yin and yang escape, which is also taught by Madara, not directly. Obito didn't even open the Rinnegan. His Rinnegan came from Nagato and was taken after Nagato's death, which is actually Uchiha Madara's Rinnegan. Madara raised her eternal Mangekyo to Rinnegan with the powerful masculine power in Hashirama cells, but it took 20 or 30 years. Luhan didn't talk about this issue with Senju Senluo any further, but he thought about it a lot, thinking of Uchiha Madara who was still alive and hiding somewhere at this time, and of Uchiha Obito, who would be born in the Uchiha clan in the 33 years of Konoha. And thus think of Konan, Nagato and others, as well as Hanzo of the Salamander and Akatsuki. Of the night, Senju-sen Luo left, and Luhan also fell asleep with all kinds of thoughts. Konoha village in the land of fire, Anbu station. In the huge cave room, many Anbu Jonin gathered, and the blood was thick. Tsunade stood in front of the wooden collapse with 2 green lights on her hands. She was trying her best to treat the injured man on the wooden collapse. Her forehead was covered in cold sweat. She was sweating not only because she had consumed a lot of chakra, but also because the person on the wooden slump is Captain Konoha Anbu, Hitaki Tsukumo. Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, the 3rd generation of eyes, was standing beside him, his face gloomy as if water would drip, his cheek muscles bulging, and he almost crushed Kiba's teeth. It's Hanzo of the Salamander. Hitaki Tsukumo went to the Land of Rain to perform a mission, but it was not actually aimed at the village of Omegakure. The Land of Rain is war-torn all the year round and there are many forces. Sarutobi Hiruzen got information that the Land of Wind has quietly established a secret force in the Land of Rain, which is likely to threaten the Land of Fire. So I let Hitaki Tsukumo go and see it for myself. Unexpectedly, Hitaki Tsukumo was not injured by the ninja of the Land of Wind, but almost died at the hands of Hanzo of the Salamander. Hanzo is such an unreasonable person. He likes to obliterate everything he sees as a threat. Just give him a chance. He will never let go. Call. A whirlwind suddenly rolled up on the side, and a tall figure appeared out of thin air. Danzo. There is news. Danzo leaned over to Sarutobi Hiruzen, glanced at Hitaki Tsukumo who was lying on top of the tree. His eyes flashed with light, then swept across Tsunade, and after a while he said in a low voice, Sen Luo is back, no cold light was found. Quote. Not found. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned sharply. I didn't find it. Danzo whispered. He may be dead. Tsunade, who was performing the operation on Hitaki Tsukumo, shook his shoulders violently. Chapter-201-220 Han Guang, Han's Anbu code name, Tsunade can hear clearly, he is dead. In fact, as early as more than 10 days ago, there was news that Han Guang had died in Anbu, because at that time, the Land of Water suddenly lifted the blockade of the border. There can only be 2 reasons for lifting the blockade. Guo Daming couldn't bear the pressure. Considering people's grievances about taxes and other issues, he decided to lift the blockade, and the second is that Han Guang is dead. Obviously the latter is more likely. After all, if you had the ability to escape, you would have escaped long ago, and it would not take a few months. For this reason, Konoha Anbu also sent some ninjas to sneak into the country of water. Because of the long distance, the investigation will take time, so there is no news yet. Return. Cold light is already a legend. At least in Konoha Anbu, the more than 20 Konoha Anbu ninjas who had followed Hengguang on missions in the Land of Water, except for the 2 who had an accident in the Land of Water, all returned to Konoha. What did Hengguang do in the Land of Water? Has long spread in Konoha Anbu. He led the team to successfully break through the siege of more than 200 Kurigakure ninjas. And not a single Konoha Anbu ninja died. Kill the Kurigakure flying ninja squad by yourself. Konoha S-class missing nin Uchiha Go-Mu, Kurigakure elite Jonin Ghost Tide River, Kurigakure Anbu Captain Blood Mist with your own power. It also took one night to successfully escape from Zanbei village, which was blocked and searched by thousands of Kurigakure ninjas. These things, even Anbu Captain, White Fang, may not be able to do it. After that, in order to make other Anbu ninjas safer, he chose to act alone. Under the information of Akatsuki's detailed information from Kurigakure, he fled in the country of water for several months. The country of water blocked the border for him. Thousands of ninjas, tens of thousands of ordinary people under the control of the daimyo of the Land of Water searched for him together, and hundreds of seabird ninja beasts and search ninja dogs participated in the search and killing of him. He is not only the legend of Konoha Anbu, but he is also known to all the ninja villages in the ninja world. I just don't know who he is, not even a ninja from Konoha. But they know that the village of Kurigakure is looking for someone. An enemy. To this end, the border was blocked, the ninja army was mobilized, and more than 5,000 ninjas including Anbu, Scout Army, Garrison Army, Main Battle Army, etc. were invested. This number has reached 1/3 of the total number of ninjas in Kurigakure. Since the last ninja war, the village of Kurigakure has never been so unified to mobilize so many ninja forces. Sensation is inevitable. Other shinobi villages in other countries even want to know more than Konoha if Luhan is still alive, because they are all curious, who is Kurigakure looking for? What kind of existence is worthy of their use of such a large resource? Even for this reason, they temporarily shelved their plans for the Kingdom of Vortex. Does it worth? In fact, even Konoha executives don't understand it very well. Is it worth it? The investment in the early stage is enough. Is it really worth it to invest in the main battle core in the later stage? The reason why Kurigakure joined the main battle core was because Luhan killed 2 of the 7 members of the Ninja Blade of Mist, Ringo Hiwa and Ma Ankang. And for now, this matter is only known to a few high-level people in Kurigakure, and it is impossible for other shinobi villages to hear the news. So they couldn't understand the anger of Ghost Lantern Moon Moon. I can't even understand the horror inside Ghost Lantern Moon Moon. Cold light is too scary. Kill Fei Nin. Kill Captain Kurigakure Anbu. Camouflage. Poison. Anti-tracking. Fighting strength. He was only 12 or 13 years old. This reminds Ghost Lantern of the big men from more than 20 years ago, Senju Hashirama, Uchiha Madara, Hyuga Tenin. Hanzo of the Salamander is the kind of ruthless character who feels threatened and will obliterate the other party. Ghost Lantern Moon no, but he has sensed an unprecedented threat from Cold Light. Cold Light is allowed to continue to grow. What kind of terrifying existence will he be? For Konoha, if Lu Hanning will return to Konoha, he will be a living legend, and his accumulated merits are enough to compete for the position of captain of Konoha Anbu. But he is dead. Although Danzo is also talking about Han Guang's death in an uncertain tone, but since he can say such a thing, it means that there must be relevant information, and the matter is likely to be out of 10. After all, it has been so long, and no one has come back, and there is no news. There was silence in the cave. Those Anbujanan came here to see the situation of Captain White Fang, but when they heard such news, they were speechless. Although they were used to seeing life and death, it was still a little difficult to accept for a while. From the establishment of Konoha Anbu to the present, they have entered Anbu's ninjas are not 1,000 or 800, all of them are Konoha's elite, but no one's talent can be compared with Han Guang. Han Guang was only 13 years old, but he died. Teacher. Well, not life-threatening, but it will take at least 2 months to cultivate. Tsunade, who had been treating the unconscious Hitaki Sakumo, finally put down his hand and said with a trembling voice, turning to look at Sarutobi Hiruzen. She was in tears, and although she was trying to control her emotions, she couldn't stop the tears. She was more certain than the others that she was dying. Because she knows who Senluo is, the ace ninja at the root, who is no worse than Hitaki Sakumo, and those Anbujanan don't know what it means when Senluo returns from the land of water but gets nothing. The cave was suddenly filled with a sad atmosphere. Everyone here knew that Tsunade was Han's teacher. Although he didn't teach him for a long time, he had deep feelings. It's hard work. Go and rest, Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a low voice. His face was expressionless, as would happen when he was in a bad mood. White Fang was injured and recuperated, and the cold light fought against the land of dead water. 3 days later, at noon. In the forest outside Konoha village, a sturdy tree with a crooked neck and a sturdy branch stretched out from the side, a whirlwind swept up, and the dusty Luhan appeared out of thin air. Finally back. Luhan raised his hand to his eyebrows, glanced at Konoha village and frowned. It seems to be much cooler than half a year ago, and there are not so many foreign businessmen. Thinking about it, Luhan disappeared from the tree branch again. Chapter 0213 _ Crying Little Girl. Konoha Village, downtown neighborhood. Under the shadow of the corner sculpture on the tower at the street entrance, Luhan appeared out of thin air, looked down at the street below, and frowned again. I still remember when Luhan didn't leave half a year ago. At this time, the downtown area of Konoha was full of people coming and going, and it was extremely noisy. Now, although there are still people coming and going, the flow of people is at least half less than before. There is no doubt that it was affected by the war. The big war has not yet broken out, but the small war has intensified. This has begun to affect personnel exchanges and trade. Not only the Konoha village has been affected, but all major ninja villages in the entire ninja world have been affected. Perhaps only coastal port towns can maintain their former prosperity at this time, but I am afraid that the good times will not last long. Konoha has been around for 31 years, and I don't know how long it will take for the real ninja war to break out. Is it more than half a year? Or a year? Luhan thought about it and disappeared. Konoha remote place, in the woods, cold log cabin. The little girl with pink makeup and jade cut is sitting at the table, resting her chin in one hand. Her eyes are slightly absent, sometimes wrinkling her nose, sometimes frowning, as if she is thinking about something unspeakable, and before she knows it, tears are in her eyes. Woo woo. Brother Han, Uncle Patriarch has already allowed me to see you. Why did you die? Woo woo woo. The little girl cried. Call. Luhan appeared in the room out of thin air, and was stunned for a moment, then glanced at the furnishings in the room, stunned again, and blinked for a while. The little girl crawled on the table and cried, and didn't notice anyone coming. Luhan looked strange, raised his hand and scratched his temples, and said, Makoto, why are you crying so sad? The crying stopped. After a very short silence, Uchiha Makoto, whose face was full of tears, raised his head little by little and looked at Luhan as if frightened. Damn it! Makoto exclaimed, nearly falling off his chair. Luhan dodged to Uchiha Makoto's side, wrapped his arms around her waist, turned around again, and put Makoto back on the chair. The 11-year-old girl was still very scared. She shrank back and blinked her big eyes. In a blink of an eye, he glanced at Luhan. What the hell? Luhan asked in confusion. Brother Han, it's really you. You're still alive. Makoto touched Luhan's face carefully, and finally confirmed that Luhan was a real person. He jumped into his arms and burst into tears. Woo woo woo. Tsunade-sama said you died. Woo woo woo. After a full 5 minutes, under the constant comfort of Luhan, Uchiha Makoto's state finally calmed down. Tell me, why did I die? What did Mr. Tsunade say? Luhan wiped Makoto's tears again. Master Tsunade said, you died on the mission. Makoto was still sobbing. Fuck, you bastard Senluo, what are you talking about? Luhan immediately cursed in his heart. He could only think so, because Senju Senluo came back a few days earlier. He had to report to Danzo, or Hokage. Tsunade is Han the teacher of, and the disciple of Sarutobi Hiruzen, will naturally get the news right away. Huh, no. Luhan blinked again. Why did Mr. Tsunade tell you such a thing? It's just, I met here. She told me not to come in the future, saying you. By chance, you come here often. The Patriarch. Uncle the Patriarch allowed me to come to see Brother Han a few months ago. I have always been here in recent months, just to see if Brother Han is back. There were tears on Makoto's pink and tender cheeks, and as he spoke, Yuhi slightly flushed his cheeks. Think of me that much? Luhan smiled and hung Makoto's nose. Well, I didn't. Makoto denied it immediately, quietly observing Luhan's expression with big eyes with teardrops on his eyelashes, paused and whispered, okay, I have a little thought. He grabbed the corner of Luhan's clothes with his small hand. Little girl. Luhan hung Makoto's nose again, and immediately said, I have a question, what about the things in my room? Luhan was stunned for a while before he came in. The first time was because Makoto was here. Luhan had heard about it before he left Konoha. Makoto was grounded and not allowed to leave the Uchiha gathering place, so Makoto could appear here. Luhan surprisingly. And the reason why Luhan was still stunned was that he had lost something at home. In the lobby, the wardrobe, shoe cabinet, weapon cabinet, and utility cabinet were all opened, and the inside was empty. It was taken by Tsunade-sama. Makoto still squinted at Yuhi. That's right, in the morning, I met Tsunade-sama here, and she was instructing people to remove those things, and told me. Brother Han died. Quote. Is she going to take it back to commemorate it? Luhan asked subconsciously, with a strange look on his face. Even if it was a memorial, did he move anything? I don't know. Makoto shook his head. Well, then I have to meet her. She may have misunderstood, Luhan said and then got up. Makoto raised his head and pulled the corner of Luhan's clothes. Luhan paused and smiled and said, Makoto, I have to go. When I see the teacher, I have to see Lord Hokage. Well, let's have something to eat together at night, and you can come back then. Okay. Makoto nodded immediately. Meanwhile, in the heart of Konoha village, in the antique room. Both sides of the wooden collapsed table, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo sat opposite each other. The teapot on the table was still steaming, and the two discussed things while drinking tea. When should Han Guang's death notice be issued? Danzo asked calmly, took a sip of tea, put down the teacup, and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Although there is no conclusive information to prove that he is dead, but receiving treatment in Senluo, I asked him before. Stop talking about that, Sarutobi Hiruzen interrupted Danzo. And what about the choice of Anbu's acting captain? Danzo asked again. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent. As long as he mentioned this in the past few days, his mood became extremely bad. Chapter-201-220 you in the cold light. Anbu Captain Hataki Sakumo was injured and recuperated, and it is hard to say whether there will be any sequelae. The newly rising genius monster died in the water country, and Konoha's recent losses are not too big. These two are people Sarutobi Hiruzen values very much. The cloud of war is getting thicker and thicker. Maybe the war will start tomorrow. No one can deny the role of a powerful ninja in the period of total war. Senju Hashirama once brought peace to the entire ninja world with his own power, and is respected as the god of ninja world. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not expect White Fang and Hangguang to become the same characters as Senju Hashirama, but at least the character who decides the winner in a crucial battle. But now, wounded, dead. Hiruzen, you should think clearly. Danzo's voice suddenly became much lower. He only called Hokage's name in private. The information sent back to the Land of Water last night. Kurigakure's heavy troops gathered in the main island of Westport, and blocked all nearby waterways. It is very likely to target the country of Vortex, and war may come at any time. Now you can't hesitate. We can't pin our hopes on illusory miracles. Now that it's happened, let's face it together. Sarutobi Hiruzen raised the teacup. Danzo stopped talking, raised his teacup, and kept looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a sip of the tea, put down the teacup, and then slowly said, about the acting captain of Anbu, who do you recommend? There are two people in my mind who can take on this important task. Danzo continued, the first one. Anbu's third squad leader, Hyuga Burnin, has been in Anbu for 10 years, and his loyalty is absolutely no problem. In terms of strength, he is in Anbu's among the elite Jonin. His strength is definitely in the top 5, and he has rich mission experience. In terms of reconnaissance and anti-reconnaissance capabilities, Senju Shiwan is not as good as him. Quote. Yeah, Sarutobi Hiruzen listened, nodded, and said again, what about the second one? The second. Danzo's voice subconsciously slowed down. I recommend Uchiha Baiyi. Uchiha. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned suddenly. Yeah. Danzo nodded heavily. Second squad leader Uchiha Baiyi. His strength is stronger than Hyuga Bonin. It can even be said that he is second only to Senju Nori. Although he is a Uchiha clan ninja, you should have felt it recently. Uchiha the clan is courting us, and we should also accept their courtship. The war may start at any time, and it is time to employ people. And it is only the acting captain. Tsukumo may not necessarily leave sequelae, and he will recover in a few months. Now, the captain is still him. Sarutobi Hiruzen pondered, holding the teacup in his hand, before looking at Danzo for a while. His eyes flashed. You want them to compete for the position of acting captain and intensify the conflict between the Hyuga family and the Uchiha family. Isn't that the way to check and balance? Danzo didn't deny it, staring at Sarutobi Hiruzen. They are the two largest tribes in Konoha. They both have the powerful Kekkei Genkai, and we have to find a balance between them. Let they compete with each other and we have better control. Quote. I knew you wouldn't recommend Uchiha Ninja so kindly. Sarutobi Hiruzen said lightly. It's just a suggestion, it's up to you to decide. Danzo's expression didn't change. He didn't like the Uchiha clan, and Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't know, and he didn't need to hide anything. Sarutobi Hiruzen picked up the teacup and thought for a long time without saying a word. Huge and empty courtyard. The whirlwind rolled up abruptly, and Luhan appeared out of thin air, then quickly walked 2 steps to the door, knocked on the door, but no one answered. Aren't you there? Go in and have a look. Luhan thought about hand seal disappearing in place, and then appeared in the lobby on the first floor of the wooden building, surrounded by familiar furnishings. This is Tsunade's home, and Luhan turned inside. I turned around to make sure Tsunade wasn't there. Few minutes later, not far from Tsunade's house, which was also a large yard, Luhan appeared in an instant, and he looked around and found no one. It's Orochimaru's home, and no one. Immediately after Luhan went to Jiraiya's house, there was still no one there. Not there. On the big tree in Jiraiya's courtyard, Luhan stood on the branch and scratched his head, frowning and wondering. A mission. Makoto said that Tsunade went to my place in the morning and took away my things. And left in the afternoon. Mission done. Not impossible. It's really troublesome. I can't explain it right away. It's all my fault. He must be talking nonsense. You bastard. Forget it. Go see Sarutobi Hiruzen. I don't know if my death notice has been sent or not. If it is, I can't make public appearances at Konoha. Death notification, because Anbu Ninja maintains dual identities, so when Anbu Ninja dies, his apparent identity will have a death notification, usually sent in the mission hall to inform other ninjas who have died, and even will be issued accordingly. Revenge missions, etc. And sometimes, the double-identified Anbu Ninja death notification will be fake. In order to better hide his identity. Once such death notices are issued, Anbu ninjas who are confirmed dead are not allowed to make public appearances in Konoha village. Antique room. Sarutobi Hiruzen's discussion with Danzo has come to an end. Well, then it's decided. Sarutobi Hiruzen said while holding the teacup. You will be responsible for the selection of the acting captain. Hyuga Benin and Uchiha Bai. If it's not necessary, don't let them decide by way of discussion. In the event of a victory or defeat, their tribes are inherently contradictory, and they are likely to kill. Don't worry. Danzo smiled. It's not the first time I've done this kind of thing, and it's the time to hire people, and I don't want to have unnecessary casualties. Okay. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and looked up at Danzo again, about the notification of Hengwang's death. Tomorrow, it will be released together with the list of the recent quest Death Ninja, so that no one can see the problem. Understood. Okay, let's be here today. I'll have a special meeting at night, remember to be there. Okay. Danzo nodded, then got up and asked Hand Seal to leave. Call. Anbu Ninja wearing a black robe and a mask appeared out of thin air, knelt down on one knee and said, Report. Speak. Cove light to see you. What? Chapter-201-220 Hokage, Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo suddenly change color at the same time. Teacup held by Sarutobi Hiruzen was crushed in an instant, while Danzo slowly put down the hands that he had just raised for the hand seal. Of silence. He's still alive, Danzo asked himself like thunder in his mind, and his whole body was struck by lightning. Say it again. Sarutobi Hiruzen slowly opened the hand that subconsciously held the broken teacup, staring at the ninja reporting Anbu. Speak. Who is begging to see you? Go back to your lord. It's the cold light to see you. Anbu ninja repeated. Let him in, quick. Sarutobi Hiruzen hurried. Yes. Anbu ninja took the order and disappeared in place. He's still alive, ha 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 ha. He's still alive. Even Senluo couldn't find him. He escaped from the land of water. Incredible, ha ha ha, incredible, Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a burst of laughter, his hands clenched with excitement, some trembling. Sure enough, Danzo said this, and smiled, then sat down with his knees crossed, lowered his head to pick up the teapot, and slowly poured himself a cup of tea. He can come back alive, it is worth celebrating. Wow. Danzo's hand trembled unnaturally. He was pouring tea for himself, and some tea was sprinkled on the table. I'm so excited, ha ha ha. Danzo laughed, reaching out to wipe the tea off the table. Danzo hasn't looked up since he sat down. He didn't dare to let Sarutobi Hiruzen see his eyes. The depths of those eyes that seemed to be filled with excited smiles were piercingly cold. He is still alive. How could he still be alive? Again. Luhan disappointed Danzo again. The last time he sent Shimura Hozo to assassinate Luhan, he already got the news that Shimura Hozo completed the mission. And this time, the ace of the roots to perform assassination missions, is a powerful freak with Mangekyo Sharingan and Master Mokuden wood style. How could Hengguang return to Konoha alive? Even Senluo couldn't find him. Senro can fly. Senluo has the powerful perception ability to sense chakra fluctuations 100 kilometers away. There is no place in heaven and earth that can trap him, and there is no place he can't go. Danzo once believed more than anyone that Hongguang was dead. Because he sent Senluo to kill Hongguang, and finding Hongguang will surely kill him. I can't find it. This only shows that Hongguang has died in the hands of Kurigakure. Squeak. The door opened. Danzo didn't have time to think, then turned to look. The man who entered the door was much taller than half a year ago. He was wearing civilian clothes and his face was not wearing a mask. It was Han. Anbu code name, Cold Light. Danzo sits very steadily. Usually when someone asks for Sarutobi Hiruzen, as long as it is official business, Danzo will stand up before anyone comes in and stand beside Sarutobi Hiruzen. He is Hokage's assistant and cannot be on an equal footing with Hokage. Only the Fire Country daimyo. But today Danzo didn't get up. He just took the initiative to sit down, so as not to give Sarutobi Hiruzen a chance to let him leave. He is businesslike, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is businesslike, and for some reason he can let Danzo shy away from it. And if Danzo doesn't act like a businessman, the chances of Sarutobi Hiruzen letting him avoid him are greatly reduced. Danzo doesn't want to go, because he wanted to hear how Hongguang escaped from the land of water. With a serious expression, Luhan stopped in the middle of the lobby. Lord Hokage, Luhan respectfully said. He ignored Danzo. Danzo sent people to assassinate Luhan several times. They both knew a lot of things, but they didn't break it. Danzo didn't explain the situation to Hokage, and Luhan didn't either. They all had concerns. You've grown taller. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Luhan seriously, and smiled. Yeah, Lord Hokage, it took half a year to come back after going out this time. Luhan also smiled slightly, and then he restrained his smile. Tell me about the situation, what happened in the past few months. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression turned solemn. In fact, he was very excited, but he wanted to maintain the majesty that Hokage should have in front of Luhan, or it could be said. It is the majesty of the elders. After all, Luhan was his disciple. Well, the matter of Zanbei village, they are all back, right? They should have already told Lord Hokage. Luhan pondered for a while. Start from the beginning. Sarutobi Hiruzen interrupted Luhan's words. They are all vague, let's talk about. How did you kill Uchiha Gumu? Ghost Lantern Chouhei, and Captain Kurigakure Anbu. That's right, because I got information before that Uchiha Gumu may be in Zanbei village. That day I entered Zanbei village with others to investigate. At dusk, I conducted a separate investigation. Then I met Uchiha Gumu. He recognized me. Thought I was a genin spy sent by Konoha, because he had a grudge before. He arrested me and took me back. Luhan began to tell a story. 90% of this story is true, including being caught by Uchiha Gumu, seeing the ghost lantern tide river, and then the blood mist appeared, listening to their conversations, pretending to inform them to deceive them, poisoning. These are all true. Luhan told the truth. But he had to hide some details, such as he had pretended to be a member of the root. Luhan said that there are no flaws, and it was originally a matter of flaws. That time he killed people with poisonous assassination techniques, and it had nothing to do with his strength. After that, it took me one night to escape from Zanbei village. Thousands of Kurigakure ninjas chased and blocked me, and I almost died inside. Luhan finally said. Good. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted loudly. There was an undisguised excitement on his face. Really a genius. Danzo commented, saying this is not against his heart at all, because Luhan is a genius. Tell me about what happened next. What have you been through in the past few months? Say what's important. Sarutobi Hiruzen said again, and how did you escape in the end? Did you find any information? Important things. Luhan dragged a long tone, as if reminiscing, before he said, actually, there aren't many important things. If I talk about it. I killed the people of Ringo Rahei and Ma Ankang. Who? Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. 7 people of the Ninja Blade of Mist. Danzo exclaimed, looking at Luhan in disbelief. Chapter-201-220 Yuhi name Danzo _ The 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly turned to look at Danzo. They. Ringo, who became a member of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of Mist 10 years ago, is far more powerful than the elite Jonin. He is good at Suiten water style and Raiden thunder style, and has a certain amount of physical strength. Danzo stared at Luhan, said like a lot of people, Ma Ankang. The youngest ninja in this generation of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist, with an arrogant personality and excellent ninja talent, he has only become the 7 people of the Ninja Sword of Mist in recent years. Members, the strength is at the bottom of the group of 7, but the potential is the greatest. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at him, then suddenly turned to look at Luhan. It's them. Luhan continued, when I killed them, I wasn't sure about their names. I could only confirm that they were 2 of the 7 members of the Ninja Swords, because they held special ninja swords, thunder swords. The owner of Kiba, Ringo Hiwa, the owner of the double knife and flounder, the Monkora people. Quote. Silent. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo were speechless for a moment. Ringo Hiwa, Ma Ankang. Sarutobi Hiruzen repeated, a name that was very unfamiliar to him. If you tell him about Kurigakure Kiba and Kurigakure Flounder, Sarutobi Hiruzen will immediately know who it is. The name of the sword can also be regarded as the code name of the 7 members of the Kurigakure Anbu, but Sarutobi Hiruzen does not know their real names. Among the 7 people of the Ninja Blade of Mist, only Munashi Ghost 7 and Zhongheim are known to him by name. Because they are very strong, they are all at their peak in middle age, and they have strengths that are by no means weaker than Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru. You killed them. How could you kill them? Danzo finally asked, staring at Luhan. Although they are the weakest duo of the 7 Ninja Blades of Mist, however, they possess extremely terrifying strength. With your strength, how can you defeat them? Don't tell me that it is also by poisoning. Ma Ankang people are not afraid of any poison. Question. Trouble. Luhan was surprised. Aren't Ma Ankang people afraid of poison? How does Danzo know everything? Or, he is connected to Kurigakure. Luhan was a little suspicious, but it wasn't because he questioned Danzo's loyalty to Konoha. He had a private connection with Kurigakure, and it was not necessarily that he betrayed Konoha. He might have used each other, or even had permission from Sarutobi Hiruzen. There are no permanent enemies, no permanent friends, only permanent interests. Konoha has not torn apart his face with Kurigakure in the open, and in the early years, the two sides were not opposed at all. Luhan suspected that Danzo had a connection with Kurigakure, not without reason, because in the original work, Danzo was connected with Hanzo of the Salamander in a Megakure village, and it was they who designed it together that killed Yahiko. Danzo was Konoha's martial arts faction. A ruthless character who will do anything to achieve his goals. It is precisely because of his unscrupulousness that he knows many secret things. For many things, it does not mean that you will get results if you investigate, but if you establish contact with the person who caused the accident, it may be easy to know what you really want. And there is a fact that cannot be avoided, that is, many things that Danzo does externally have the shadow of Sarutobi Hiruzen behind it. Luhan noticed the text above Danzo's head. Konoha Hokage Assistant, Danzo. Great Yuhi name. Very simple display. No strength level is displayed. Yuhi's name shows that there are two states from the beginning. I still remember when Luhan met Uchiha Gumu for the first time. At that time, Gumu was Yuhi's name, but Luhan couldn't see Gumu's strength rating until later Uchiha Gomu led people to hunt down Luhan, who was out of the village to perform a mission. The two sides met again, and Luhan realized that he was a level 30 gold boss. The name Yuhi, which represents malicious intent, represents the possibility of causing harm. Yuhi's name is added to the strength rating, which means that it may directly cause damage. Two Yuhi names is somewhat vague, but there is an essential difference. Luhan knows when he can see Danzo's strength rating, and that is the day that Danzo decides to kill Luhan himself. Actually, I don't have the strength to kill the people of Ringo Hiru and Ma Ankang. Luhan said, seeing the light flashing in Danzo's eyes, while Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and immediately said, I used a weapon. With that said, Luhan flipped his wrists with both hands at the same time, and two knives appeared in his hands. Left hand, the sword of shock. Right hand, the blade of Kurigakure. These two knives, the one in the right hand was obtained in Zenbei village, Captain Kurigakure Anbu's knife, but it doesn't seem to be his usual weapon, because the sickle was wrapped in cloth at that time, which is not convenient to use. Maybe where he came from I got it. I thought it was some kind of treasure at the time, so I took this knife with me when I took someone's head. The knife in my left hand came from the belly of a sea beast in the depths of the North Sea in the Land of Water. At that time, I wanted to cross the North Sea and go to the Nakajima in the Land of Water, but I found a seabird ninja beast approaching, so I dived into the sea for a while. Dodging, I encountered an attack by a sea beast that can use Raiden Thunder-style chakra. I was eaten by it, and I found this knife inside. Luhan told two stories, both of which were nonsense, but Luhan was not afraid of being suspected. What about doubts? Who else can find out the origin of these two knives? Can't find anything. What do you suspect? The two knives were exchanged from the subversive space. Once again, they did not exist in this world before. Luhan was their first owner, so he made up the origins of the two knives at random, and there was absolutely no flaw. Push the origin of the blade of Kurigakure to the blood mist. The blood mist is already dead, there is no proof of death. As for the sea beast, that is simply something that cannot be verified. Luhan came to see Sarutobi Hiruzen. He had already thought about what to say. Wait, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly raised his hand and called out, interrupting Luhan's words, don't talk about the two knives. You tell me first, where did you take the two knives out? Two knives appeared out of thin air. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo all saw it. It's a space-related secret technique I created. Luhan explained that he was exposing the space backpack on purpose. Because he wants to show Sarutobi Hiruzen that he has a talent for space magic. This way, maybe I can learn Hiraishin justifiably. Chapter-201-220 Creation. Space-related secret techniques. Sarutobi Hiruzen's body shook, looked at Danzo, then looked at Luhan and said, what kind of spatial-related secret techniques? It is to create a different space that can store items. Luhan said and demonstrated to Sarutobi Hiruzen. He threw the blade of Kurigakure and the blade of astonishment into the space backpack, and then took them out. After doing this several times, it seemed that it was like two knives disappeared out of thin air in his hands and appeared again. Luhan also deliberately released some chakra to prove that he was using some kind of technique. In the past half a year, I have been running away, facing the search and killing. I have to pay attention to the surroundings all the time, so my perception of space is getting deeper and deeper. The sky, the ground, flowers and trees, far and near where. Space exists in essence, but it is invisible and intangible. Luhan's storytelling level has already been superlative, and he speaks righteously. Space secret art, Sarutobi Hiruzen murmured, and then quickly asked, this art may cause damage. No, Luhan said calmly, but he was overjoyed. When Sarutobi Hiruzen mentioned the two keywords of space and damage, he must have thought of the S-level secret technique Hiraishin created by the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobarama. Hiraishin is a space-based technique, and it is one of the most advanced telekinesis techniques. Hiraishin itself does not have any damage effect, but it can greatly increase the ninja's fighting ability. What's so special about those two knives? Danzo couldn't help asking. He didn't care about the space ninjutsu invented by Luhan. As long as he was a genius, he basically had the ability to create. The space-class secret technique can only create one storage space, and it is not very advanced. He cares more about Luhan's knife. With those two knives, you killed Ringo Hiwa and Ma Ankang. This knife, I named it the Blade of Kurigakure. The name has nothing to do with Kurigakure village. The reason for this name is that it can create dense fog, which is more effective than the Kurigakure technique. Luhan said and demonstrated. A thick fog suddenly filled the lobby, and Luhan was hiding in the thick fog, but he heard him say again, as long as you continue to inject sweetened water-style chakra into this knife, you can create thick fog without interruption. The thick fog covers a maximum area of more than 300 meters. Thick fog dissipated quickly, but was absorbed by the blade of Kurigakure. This knife, I call him Jinghong Blade. Luhan raised the Jinghong Blade again. With a blue spell on the blade, this knife can absorb Raiden Thunder-style chakra. I tried a lot of things, only Raiden Thunder-style chakra can be kept in it, but I don't understand what the point is, so I kept pouring Raiden Thunder-style chakra into it. It took many days for the blue spell pattern to appear on this sword. This is an attack similar to Raiden Thunder-style ninjutsu. When the blue spell pattern is triggered, it can be issued. The power. The flounder of the flounder is weak in liberation. I named this move, Jinghong Peerless. Ringo Rahei was killed by Jinghong Peerless. At that time, the two of them found me, and Ringo Rahei rushed to me. He was unprepared, and was killed by Jinghong Peerless. No bones left. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo's eyes were both on those two knives, mainly looking at the blade of Jinghong. According to Luhan, the value of the blade of Jinghong is by no means lower than that of the double knives, flounder. The fiery color flashed in Danzo's eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't show that kind of eyes. He didn't want to covet the ninja tools obtained by genin hands, and besides, with his strength, whether it was the blade of Kurigakure or the blade of Jinghong, it would not bring him much strength. Ascension, his strength is too strong. The power of the A-level attack ninjutsu released is not much weaker than Jinghong Peerless. How did you kill the Ma Ankang people? What is your current strength? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked again. This is the question he is most concerned about. He hasn't seen the cold light for half a year. How has his strength improved? Luhan has been in this world for less than a year, almost 10 months, and in the first 5 months, he has improved his strength from nothing to a special Jonin. How much has it improved in the next 5 months? In fact, in particular, Jonin is not necessarily much worse than Jonin in terms of strength. What he lacks is experience, awareness, or some kind of auxiliary ability. Sarutobi Hiruzen can accept the rapid improvement of Luhan's strength from nothing to the special Jonin, and it is not acceptable to not accept it, because Luhan's strength growth is traceable. He was first discovered by Tsunade, and Tsunade clearly reported to Sarutobi Hiruzen that Han already has genin strength. After that, Han entered Anbu and became a Chunin, an elite Chunin, and was recognized as a special Jonin for beheading flying ninja and master B-level ninjutsu when he was in the country of Vortex. Luhan did not leave any flaws in his forged growth path. One step at a time. It's just that the pace is a little faster. No one has ever denied that there are geniuses in this world that are incomprehensible to ordinary people. There have been so many examples through the ages, so Sarutobi Hiruzen is looking forward to it. How strong is Han now? How far has the 13-year-old Han Guang's strength grown? Maybe elite Jonin, or maybe not. Luhan said, his tone was very uncertain. My strength is still incomparable to the Ma Ankang people. That guy is pervert. If confronted head-on, I'm not his opponent. Maybe I can compete with one or two in swordsmanship, but in ninjutsu. So, Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his eyebrows. He heard something in Luhan's words. I also created a powerful ninjutsu. It has a strong killing effect. It is with the help of this technique, and the thick fog created by the blade of Kurigakure, that I attacked the Monkang people in close combat, but I was also injured because of this. Fortunately, I was born with strong vitality, so I didn't die. What technique? That's it. Luhan put away the two knives and quickly raised his right hand. On the palm of his right hand, chakra surged and quickly condensed into a super high-speed spinning chakra ball. I named it Rasengan. A-level art, Danzo exclaimed. With his eyesight, he could easily judge the difficulty of Rasengan's practice. Come and try, attack me. Sarutobi Hiruzen dodged and appeared in front of Luhan. Chapter-201-220 How strong is Sarutobi Hiruzen? From sitting cross-legged on the wooden slump to dodging in front of Luhan, Sarutobi Hiruzen completed it in the blink of an eye. He didn't perform any magic, but moving so close, he already had a speed that was close to that of an instant. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is less than 40 years old, is undoubtedly extremely powerful. It is hard for Luhan to estimate how strong he is, known as a ninjutsu professor. Attack! Luhan was stunned for a moment, and quickly glanced at the top of Sarutobi Hiruzen's head. Konoha Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orange name. No strength rating is displayed. Elf, why can't I see Sarutobi Hiruzen's level? Luhan asked eagerly. Something was wrong, because according to the rules, as long as the person who may cause direct harm to Luhan will be named Yuhi, so Luhan will discuss with anyone. The other party will temporarily become Yuhi name. He is too strong, and the strong can guarantee not to hurt you. The elf explained. How strong is it? Luhan asked himself. It was mentioned in the original work that Sarutobi Hiruzen is the strongest Hokage in all dynasties. This statement is likely to be watery. Before him, the first Hokage Senju Hashirama and the second Hokage Senju Tobarama were all extremely powerful beings. Senju Hashirama is even known as the god of the ninja world. In the end of the valley battle, he defeated the majestic Susanoo composed of Uchiha Madara and Kyuubi, 9 tails by himself. This strength, Sarutobi Hiruzen will be stronger than Senju Hashirama. Not necessarily. He is not necessarily stronger than Senju Hashirama, but he is known as a ninjutsu professor with the 5 chakra attributes of his grandmaster. Except for Kekkei Genkei, he is almost omnipotent. Even if he is weaker than Senju Hashirama, he will not be much weaker. And how strong the middle-aged Sarutobi Hiruzen is, it is impossible to verify from the original work. At the beginning of the original story, he was in his 60s. He was old and weak, and his strength was greatly reduced. During the Fourth Ninja World War, he was defeated by impure Sarutobi Hiruzen, who appeared in World Reincarnation, is also in an old age, so his strength at the peak of his middle age has always been a mystery in the original book. Luhan still couldn't see the strength rating of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and a big question mark appeared in his mind. ... Come on, do your best. Sarutobi Hiruzen took Luhan's silence as a scruple in his heart, standing in front of Luhan and said, I just want to know the power of this move. Don't worry, you can't hurt me. Okay. Lu Han nodded. That's offended, Lord Hokage. Call. Lu Han shot in an instant, and he showed all his strength in physical skills. There is no need to hide this aspect. At the level of Jonin, the standard for judging the fighting strength of ninjas comes from ninja, but in fact Lu Han does not have it either. How strong the physical skills are, it is completely incomparable with the real physical skills Jonin, and there is no need to keep it. Twisting his waist and striding, Lu Han unleashed his attack speed to ultimate, and his right-hand Rasengan slapped Sarutobi Hiruzen. Snapped. A crisp sound, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood there and didn't move. He raised his hand and squeezed Lu Han's wrist. The Rasengan in Lu Han's hand was right in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen's face, but he couldn't move any further. Sarutobi Hiruzen tilted his head to observe Rasengan, squinted his eyes slightly, and immediately flashed to Lu Han's side, slapped Lu Han's shoulder with a slap, and with very soft strength, sent Lu Han out a few steps directly. The two distanced themselves again, but heard Sarutobi Hiruzen shout, "Come again." Lu Han quickly turned around and shot Rasengan towards Sarutobi Hiruzen again. Snapped. Come again. Snapped. Come again. Snapped. Come again. Time and time again, Lu Han couldn't beat Sarutobi Hiruzen. It was the first time he felt so powerless. Although he still had a lot of skills that he didn't use, and Sarutobi Hiruzen also had more skills that were useless. Defense was passive, Lu Han attacked, he took the initiative, but Lu Han felt like a real child, playing with adults. Every time Sarutobi Hiruzen waved, moved, and moved, everything was impeccable. At least in Lu Han's view, it is impeccable. On the top of the tree, Danzo stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen and Lu Han who were fighting, and the chill in the depths of his eyes became a little thicker. This little devil is only 13 years old. Could he be able to make Sarutobi Hiruzen use so much physical strength to deal with it? What's even more terrifying is that he had been in a hurry for 12 years before, and it took less than a year for him to be so powerful. Danzo deeply understands how strong Sarutobi Hiruzen is. He is not surprised that Han cannot hurt Sarutobi Hiruzen at all. Naturally, he will not really compare Han with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Those who can compare should be those young geniuses in Konoha village today. Like Hatake Sakumo in his early 20s. When Hatake Sakumo was 13 years old, he didn't have the strength he has now. Lord Hokage, offended, Lu Han suddenly shouted. Call. Rasengan also appeared on Lu Han's left hand. Rasengan with both hands. Lu Han's attack frequency suddenly increased, one hand was caught, and the other hand was attacking continuously. This is not 1 + 1 = 2, the attack frequency is increased several times. Several fights, Sarutobi Hiruzen still neutralized all Lu Han's attacks, but suddenly heard a pop. Sarutobi Hiruzen stepped on the rocky ground in one move. Get out of control. Sarutobi Hiruzen is starting to get overwhelmed. Lu Han didn't use any other techniques, and apart from that, he had already brought out all his strength. He just wants to force Sarutobi Hiruzen, because he wants Sarutobi Hiruzen to become Yuhi name, so as to see Sarutobi Hiruzen's strength rating, but still can't do it. Follow me outside. Don't stop. Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice sounded in Lu Han's ears, and he was grabbed by the wrist again. Lu Han's eyes flashed, and he was already in the large yard outside the house. Sweden, water style, wave prism. Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly completed the hand seal, spitting out a lot of water, but a small water mirror condensed in front of him. This mirror is not flat, it is full of raised bumps, look, it looks very thick. Boom, boom. Two Rasengan bombarded the wave prism one after another. The first blow cracked the mirror, and the second blow directly shattered the mirror. Danzo's face changed dramatically just after he left the room. Sarutobi Hiruzen's A-level Sweden, water style, defensive ninjutsu was defeated by Lu Han's hands, Rasengan. Chapter-201-220 Jonin Han. A large amount of water surged around, which was produced after the water prism collapsed. The volume of the highly compressed water became dozens of times larger after it was out of control. The yard seemed to have suffered the impact of the Great Waterfall technique, but there was no Great Waterfall. The impact of technique was just that, but there were also water waves, and Luhan was the first to be splashed, and his whole body was penetrated by water. On the other hand, Sarutobi Hiruzen was dry, and he seemed to have cast some kind of magic instantly, shielding him from the splashing water. Anbu ninjas who were guarding all over the yard were stunned. Everything happened so fast. What happened? Dare to do it on Hokage. It's all right. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand and gestured to Luhan, with a smile on his face. His eyes on Luhan were very different. Okay. Very good. Very good. You can create this kind of technique. It has exceeded my expectations for you. Luhan stood in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen, panting violently. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's praise, he quickly said respectfully, Lord Hokage is too much. The door, Danzo was really stunned from the inside out. That technique was created by him. 13-year-old Han actually created that kind of powerful A-level ninjutsu. Both hands, it can defeat Sarutobi Hiruzen's A-level defensive ninjutsu. What kind of power is that? The same technique, if it was performed by Konoha Elite Jonin and defeated by Luhan's two Rasengans, Danzo would still understand, but it was performed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. The same A-level defensive ninjutsu he performed, and Konoha Elite Jonin performed, the effect is completely two levels. Don't tell anyone about it just now. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced. Yes, the Anbu ninja, who was guarding all over the yard, agreed with a bang. Come in with me, Sarutobi Hiruzen said to Luhan again, and then walked into the house first. Time flies. Measuring the power of Rasengan, Luhan spent the whole afternoon telling Sarutobi Hiruzen about the situation in the Land of Water for the past few months. Regarding Luhan's killing of Ringo Ri and Ma Ankang, Sarutobi Hiruzen believed it because I believe that with the help of those two knives, Luhan can do it. The speed of Luhan's strength growth is a bit pervert, especially when he created his own A-level ninjutsu, and even said things that no one believed. But Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo had to believe that, like the situation with those two knives, no one had used Rasengan before Luhan. What else could it be except that Luhan created it himself? Luhan also said about Thunderblade Kiba and Double Blade Flounder, which, to be honest, disappeared suddenly. After that, Luhan also reported to Sarutobi Hiruzen a lot of information from the Land of Water. Luhan did get some information. After all, he had been on the run for a few months. Even if he happened to encounter it, he should have encountered something. Just like that, an afternoon passed. At dusk, in the antique room, there were still Luhan, Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Danzo. Lord Hokage, what level do you think my current strength should have reached? Luhan asked. Elite Jonin, the Rasengan you created is extremely powerful, and your fighting awareness is also extremely good, but... Sarutobi Hiruzen paused. You were able to sneak attack on the Monkang people because you used a technique that has never been seen before. If you let the Ma Ankang know your master Rasengan in advance, even if it is covered by thick fog, it is difficult for you to be his opponent. Compared with the general elite Jonin, your master's skills are too few, and you are no worse than them in direct confrontation, but if you fight strategically for a long time, your shortcomings will be revealed. You must not be arrogant, there is still a long way to go. Quote. Lord Hokage said yes. Luhan said. What Sarutobi Hiruzen said was right, Luhan's spiritual path is indeed still a long way to go. Got the evaluation of the elite Jonin from Sarutobi Hiruzen. In fact, Luhan's strength is much higher than that of the elite Jonin. The character strength rating, the 40-level class is already the elite Jonin, and Luhan has been able to play against the 50-level bronze boss Ma Ankang. The strength of the 50-level class is super elite, or the peak Jonin. At this time, Luhan's true strength should be able to defeat the Ma Ankang people in a short period of time. Or, can it be compared to the Ringo Day piece? In fact, the strength has reached the level of 50. In terms of attack ability, defense ability, and instant evasion ability, the gap is not too big. The attack of the 50-level bronze boss is not necessarily weaker than the 50-level gold boss. Different from the previous levels, Genin, Chunin, Jonin. The ninjas of these levels of strength, their strengths are very distinct. B-level techniques are stronger than C-level techniques. When the strength reaches level 50, it is already difficult to simply use the level of the master's technique as a factor to distinguish the strength of the ninja. Because all S-level techniques have different effects and types, you can't say who is stronger. For ninjas of this strength class, the real strength gap lies in combat experience and reaction awareness. Is the hand seal faster? Instant ninjutsu? Know more about strategy? These are all factors that cause the gap in ninja's strength. The same technique, one person needs a second to issue, the other can be instant, naturally the latter is stronger. That time, Luhan killed Ringo Rahei and Ma Ankang, and got the drop reward for killing a level 50 white silver boss, as well as the drop reward for killing a level 50 bronze boss for the first time. The kind of surge in his strength that he has had several times before is because he can only get scrolls that drop spells by killing them, but he can't get combat experience, reaction awareness, hand seal speed, combat strategy, etc. Scroll of ability. If he wants to improve in these areas, he can only rely on himself. It's like, give a child a gun, he can shoot and kill, but if you want to be stronger, you have to practice your spear skills. After Luhan reported all the situation to Sarutobi Hiruzen, he planned to leave. Before leaving, he asked again, Master Hokage, Mr. Tsunade. I went to look for her when I came back, but she was not there. Oh, by the way, go to the back mountain. Sarutobi Hiruzen continued, they all thought you were dead and were planning to bury you today. Buried. Luhan looked strange, how could he be buried without a body? Yes, it's the tomb of clothes. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, go and have a look. Chapter-201-220 Tomb. After Luhan left, there was silence for a long time in the quaint room. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought about something, put one hand on the table, and tapped his fingers subconsciously. Danzo also thought about it, and after a while, he recovered his thoughts, glanced at Sarutobi Hiruzen, reached out and picked up the teapot to pour tea for Sarutobi Hiruzen. What do you think? It's really surprising that Hangguang has grown like this. He is likely to become my Konoha's ace in the future, why don't you let me train him? Danzo said, pouring tea for Sarutobi Hiruzen, and pouring it for himself a cup. Not good. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head, glanced up at Danzo, and held the teacup with his hand. I was thinking, would it be too abrupt if he was directly promoted to the acting captain of Anbu? His time in Anbu is too short. I am afraid it is difficult to convince the public, but with his ability. Danzo's hand that put down the teapot stopped abruptly, and after a brief pause, he gently lowered the teapot. I think, no. Danzo's tone was very cautious. Anbu has been established for more than 20 years, from the first generation captain to the current, White Fang. There are 7 captains before and after, the youngest is in the last ninja world. Firethorn, who was in danger during the Great War, when he was also 16 years old, followed by White Fang. The position of captain is the most important thing. Han Guang is only 13 years old. Although he is calm, he is still too young. As soon as the war breaks out, Anbu's task will be heavy. In order to control the overall situation, it is impossible to focus on Anbu's affairs, but also rely on the captain's strategic ability. Although Han's strength is not bad, according to Anbu's historical rules, the captain does not have to have the strongest strength in Anbu, but we don't know much about other aspects. His personal ability is very outstanding, but this is not enough. It takes practice. Quote. Danzo almost wanted to get close to Sarutobi Hiruzen and shout, no. Absolutely not. Once Luhan became the interim captain of Anbu, for Danzo, it was another White Fang appeared. He can't do anything about Luhan anymore. Even if Lu Han will step down as the interim captain when White Fang recovers and returns in the future, his status within Anbu will be completely different. Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent, took a sip of the teacup. He was hesitating. Why didn't take this matter to a meeting and discuss it? Listen to Kaharu and the others. Danzo said again. The meeting he was talking about was naturally the highest level small meeting that only the top executives of Konoha could attend. Those who could attend the meeting, each has a great say in the Konoha master. Kaharu Udatane, Homura Mitokado, etc., are the kind of people who are a bit old-fashioned. They will never agree to a 13-year-old boy to be the acting captain of Anbu, Danzo can be sure. Anbu's business doesn't need their opinion. Sarutobi Hiruzen said simply, frowning at Danzo. Danzo clearly knows that Anbu belongs directly to Hokage. Except for Hokage, no one has any right to speak about Anbu's internal affairs. Even Danzo himself can only express some opinions that have no substantive effect. He said that this matter should be when I got it at the meeting. It was a little unusual. Special period. You decide. Danzo explained, and didn't say any more. He knew he was acting a little too impatient. Call. Report. A whirlwind suddenly engulfed the house, and a black-robed ninja covered in dust and blood appeared out of nowhere, knelt on one knee and said, "Emergency information from the land of rain." Speak. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned. At dusk when the sun sets, Yuhi-sha fills the sky like blood. On the hill behind Konoha village, near the entrance of Anbu Station, in the dense forest, a clearing with lush vegetation, the new soil dug up not long ago covered the grass, and there was a big hole next to the grass, and the brand new coffin had just been placed in it. It is a rule to be buried at dusk. The official funeral will be held at this time. At dusk, when the yin and yang alternate, the burial at this time will allow the deceased to rest in peace. The so-called clothing grave is to put the things used by the deceased in the coffin to replace the body of the deceased. The tomb in which such a coffin is buried is called the clothing grave. It will set up a burial for him. Konoha has a lot of clothing tombs. The village of Konoha has been established for more than 30 years. Too many ninjas have died in battles. If they can't find the bodies, they can only erect the tombs. In front of the tomb pit, the tombstone has been erected, and a letter is written, "The tomb of I Tsunade, the teacher Tsunade erected." Tsunade was right in front of the tomb. Not only she was here, but Jiraiya and Orochimaru were also beside her, and there were 20 or 30 ninjas wearing black robes and masks around, all of them Anbu ninjas who had performed missions with Lu Han. "It's time, fill in the soil." An extremely haggard voice came from Tsunade's mouth. Shiyuhi closed her eyes and her hair was a little messy, as if she hadn't combed it for many days. There were several Anbu ninjas with shovels beside the tomb. When they heard Tsunade's words, they all shoveled the soil and filled the tomb with soil one by one. The coffin was gradually covered with earth. Tsunade stared at the tombstone in a daze, weeping silently, biting the corner of his lips, clenching his hands into fists, and slowly spreading them out. "The fate of ninjas, we will also have this day," Orochimaru said suddenly, turning his head to look at Tsunade. He is not the kind of person who can talk too much. However, Tsunade didn't pay attention to what Orochimaru said. Jiraiya heard it, but he was silent, because Orochimaru was right, and he didn't know how to comfort Tsunade. What was life? What's the point of dying? The truth is, but you can't empathize without the same experience. After a while, the new tomb was built, and the Anbu ninja put down their shovels and returned behind the Tsunade three. Farewell to Lord Hengguang. I don't know who was the first. More than 20 Anbu ninjas fell on one knee one after another, kneeling together. May you rest in peace. Han. You. Tsunade couldn't help but finally burst into tears, raising his hand to cover his mouth. Hey, who the hell said I'm dead? A voice full of helplessness and gnashing of Kiba's teeth suddenly sounded behind the crowd.